TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
What's up, fam? This is Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year, we gave away several PS4s and games. So this year, we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket that up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love. Big ups to you. You're now tuned into the Pelican Post-Game Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate you guys being in this installment of the Pelican Post-Game Report. Big ups to you. This one called Pelican Post-Game Report. Three-point shooters, the best three-point shooters on the roster. Much love to the family chiming in on this episode of the Pelican Post-Game Report. Saturday edition. Busy Friday. Had to move it to Saturday. But we're here. We appreciate you guys for being in the building with us. Please feel free to hit upon the like button. Hit the hell out that like button. And also subscribe if you're not a subscriber, because we in the building. Much love to the fam. Much love to the flock. Who that to you? And go Pels. All right, Brother Jalil. Thank you, Brother Jalil. Says guarantees in life. Death taxes. James getting cut off. DC using hooked orthotics. And PPR dropping another banger. Shout out to the... Thank you, Jalil.
My dog Jalil.
Brother, much love to you, Brother Jalil. Much love to the brother, man. Thank you for your super chat. And go Pels to the entire flock, man. Elite, go Pels. Lonnie, go Pels. Shedrick, go Pels. Big ups to Marv J. Beyond. Gang. Go Pels. Melanin Guy, go Pels. 120, Transport, go Pels. Oh, is that I-20? 120. Transport, go Pels. Latrell, what's up, brother? Go Pels. Greg CTC, go Pels. Carlton, go Pels. Official Bad Mother Shucker, go Pels. Devin, go Pels. Stephanie, go Pels. My brother Jalil, thank you once again, my friend. Go Pels. All right, Todd, go Pels. Derek, go Pels. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you. Say new to the show. Thank you, family. Appreciate you. Hit the subscribe if you hadn't already. Hit it, and welcome to the flock, my friend. Thank you very much. Tramal, go Pels. What's up, Justin? Go Pels. And go Pels to the entire flock. If you didn't hear that, give me a go Pels, and I'm going to try to get you a go Pels back. But I'm Big Q chiming in on this installment of the show. We got DC in the building as well. DC, how you doing, brother? There's been a lot of flux, bro, but you're here now, back in familiar surroundings. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Feels good to be back home. Seeing the damage and all that is, it's reminiscent of Katrina, bro. But
I know
we got real resilient people, man, and I think the spirits are high, like for us people this time, man. And it feels good to be back home. It's a lot of work to be done, a lot of things that we need to do. Eating on them edibles,
You,
on
you
Marley.
better believe it.
Marley always be ratting, dog. You always be talking about the hydroponics, bro. You always ratting, man. But yeah, man, feel good to be back on here, bro. I mean, we couldn't make it yesterday, but we here today, man, ready to talk some Pels. Excited about the Saints at the same time and the Pels, man. So it's a hell of a season to be a New Orleans sports fan, and I think this will help get all the other stuff off our mind. You know what I mean? That we all dealing with. I know we all probably got houses that are damaged, just going through some type of transition right now, man. This whole thing has been real tough on everybody, including myself.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, DC. And I've also was affected, and so many family members of the region, from Louisiana on up to New York, and in areas in between affected by this hurricane. And the season's not quite over yet, so we just gonna dig in and do what we got to do to keep bouncing back even stronger. So that's what it represents. So big ups to the fam. I appreciate y'all being up in here. Let's get right into it, family, and then we're gonna cover just a few things. As the name of the show called, Pelican Post Game Report. Best 3-point shooters on the roster. On
The living roster, right?
On the living
On the
roster.
living roster.
On the living roster. That's right. So we're gonna go over this with fam. I found this was intriguing. This is coming from Kellen Strauss over there at the Pelican Debrief. That write a lot of good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but we also realize and know that this will be a main component, DC, of the Pelicans' success moving through the season. Of course, the last several years, it's been an onus for the Pelicans to focus on shooting, 3-point shooting. But I would even question to a degree that had we last year been able to just close out with some defensive stops, DC, when we needed to, and several of those contests, we would have been in the playoffs, not the play-in, but the actual playoffs itself. So 3-point shooting definitely helps here, and we definitely have some intriguing and interesting pieces to go along with it. You see in the thumbnail there, you see guys like Trey Murphy there. These are incoming guys. You see Trey Murphy there, and of course Devontae Graham sitting on top of that thing, as the best 3-point shooter. But we're gonna cover this article, which goes in depth and talks about these guys. So without further ado, let's get right on in it. Please feel free to hit the like button, family. Go Pels, Roy. I see your family. Go Pels, the Roy. All right, what's up? Let's see. Didi, go Pels. Just a second, Didi. I'm gonna get to you. All right, what's up? T. Loomfield, what's up, fam? Go Pels. He says y'all should do a show on who's the greatest human being on the living roster.
All right.
You know what? We might have to do that, T. Loom. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that after we do this article. We're gonna go over the living roster, and I'm gonna have DC, who has a PhD in living rosterology, and let. I'm like a visitor in that damn house. DC built it.
We gotta get some David Griffin takes in here, bro, for the greatest human being, bro.
Well,
nobody gauge the greatest human being like him.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go a top 5 DC greatest human beings on the Pelicans, and we're gonna go over that. But let me see, T. Loomfield, does that include coaches and players and administrators, or just players? Let us know, fam, and we'll put it together with the help of with the flock as well. So, but Didi says DC and Q, I've watched some video on Graham, and this dude's a beast. He threw down. He said he threw down 40 points in one game and hit 10 3-pointers against the Nets. Why are they sleeping on this dude? I mean, it's just
from a small market, man.
Well, yeah, the Hornets.
You know how that go, bro.
Yeah, the Hornets. They really wasn't respecting his mind. But people that know basketball know Graham's a weapon, no doubt about it. But he's 6'1". He's a smallish guard. People see him more as a scoring guard than they do a point guard. But it's kind of deceptive, because you can see him orchestrating the offense in games. When you watch with the Hornets, he was setting up plays, distributing the ball, and he's not the greatest defender, but he most certainly isn't the worst defender. So I mean, he's an energy guy, man. You can see it, and a very confident player. They don't have no problem attacking the cup. So I just love what he brings to the team. Now, in terms of his scoring, but yes, I agree. He is sleeping on them, and they're also sleeping on the Pelicans. So it makes it kind of, it kind of matches if you think about it. So that together we gonna fly, baby. That's the bottom line. DC, you want to drop on that one?
Yeah, Devontae Graham, it's last year. I think a lot of his steam, was let out by LaMelo Ball
Yep.
because people forget. Everybody who talking about this was a bad acquisition, or will we do that and let go of Lonzo Ball for? Everybody keep telling me Lonzo Ball gonna be the most improved player, and we know we've been having that when he was here, wishing he could get that standard. Well, guess who was number two behind Brandon Ingram when he won it? It was Devontae Graham.
Yep.
He was number two in the most improved player. He was the guy on that team. And for some reason, Charlotte went and drafted LaMelo Ball. Or LaMelo Ball fell to him, whatever way you want to look at that. And that changed up everything for him. Other than that, I think Devontae Graham would have had another outstanding season. He started being a backup, and then they mixed him in the starting lineup. And they had this thing going where they kind of got three, legit starting level guards, point guards. You could say combo guard for Terry Rozier, but Vontae Graham is more of a point guard, especially due to his size. Can't really put him at two. And you got LaMelo Ball. So, man, he was just a victim of circumstance. And I think the fact that they play in Charlotte, man, similar to us, people who play in these smaller markets a lot of times, if you're not an all-star, superstar, people just look at you like you ain't got no game, man. They ain't really much to you. But a lot of times you got a lot of talent be on those teams in some instances, especially when you're talking about a guy that can be a legit, starting caliber player. Like they got a lot of those guys in small market, but they constantly get overlooked, man, unless they got that all-star behind them, bro. If you're the one most improved player, I think people probably would look at this as a bigger move. But I'm with you though, DB. Man, 47 million and you getting all that. I mean, I don't think Lonzo could touch 40 points in the game, 10 3-pointers. I ain't gonna say he can't, but he ain't never did it. And you got all that at half the price you would have had to pay him. So I'm glad they sleeping on. Let them keep goddamn sleeping. And we just gonna knock them over the head and wake them up, bro.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, DC. I mean, that'll be a big caveat to the Pelicans that, like last year, we also knew that the Pelicans should have been a playoff team. This year, they have enough to get to the playoffs. And if depending on how well they gel, they could get a little deeper in that thing, if you know what I mean. So thanks for your question there, DB. And go Pels to you. 504 Doc, go Pels. Josh in his bag, go Pels. I got you. I got you, T Loom Phil. Players and coaches, but no octopus. Old Doc Ock. All right. He'll be popping in. You know that. You know that, Greg. You can't keep each one out of here like
Who
you
else
can't
gonna
keep
talk about the
VP.
sustainable future?
There you
But
go.
Dr. Ock, bro.
Yeah.
And each one teach one.
Swagged out entertainment. Go Pels. He said, I know this Pelicans page, but boy, I'm excited for the Saints game tomorrow. Who that? Yeah, we're gonna
Me
have
too, man. Me
the
too.
full stream pre-game, during game, live game, in stream that we've been doing, and then the post game for the family members to chime in. So swag out entertainment, appreciate you. All right, brother Jalil says Lopez says we're doing something different along with team building. Thoughts on that? DC, you want to comment on what brother Jalil saying? Andrew Lopez is saying we're doing something different along with team building.
Well, Andrew Lopez, I think, was talking about. I know he was talking about as far as what we was doing for the city too. We haven't heard a lot of Pelican
What's up,
players
KK?
talking about contributions. Shout out to Trey Murphy because he got behind the mic and basically talked about an organization that he's a part of, where he's trying to help us down here. And as far as team building with Andrew Lopez, I like what the Pels are doing. I think they're going with a youth movement, and rightfully so. I mean, both our superstars are young, so we need some vets in there to show them the right thing. But you don't need no vets to be the best players on your team because you have a young team, and if you want them to grow into the sustainable future, you know what I mean, you will want to do that with young guys. And I think we got an excellent uh, gumbo pot of ingredients to make that happen for us, the guys that we got with the Jackson Hayes and NAW. You got Trey Murphy, you know what I'm saying? Then you got an all-star in Zion, and you also got an all-star in Brandon Ingram. So it's almost a perfect storm. You can't forget about Jonas Valanciunas and Devontae Graham. And I love what they're doing team building, man. The only thing I would like more is maybe NAW is everything we're hoping he will be and what he's hyped up to be. But it's just been nice to see maybe I guess a better guard in the starting lineup, minus that, or have a better backup for Zion. Preferably another big guy that could shoot threes and play some defense. But other than that, if you've been watching the Pelicans and actually watch where we came from, where we got, how our players mesh together, and what they looking to put around Zion based on what we've been seeing the last 2 years, how can you not like this roster unless you just don't know?
Big part of it is they don't know, DC. That's what it all comes down to. Let's get into this article right here. And this is here from, let's see, the New Orleans Pelicans ranking the 5 best three-point shooters on the roster. We know that's what it's about. All right. And KK, big ups to you, Big Q and DC Reddish. That dude would sell half the roster to get that man on his team. I promise you.
About Reddish in a minute, man.
All right.
No Reddish on none of my food.
Swagged Out says, I saw an article about the Saints making the trade for KP. All right, for KP. KP. Who's KP?
Oh, he talking about they had an article about a cheap deal they could do to Pelicans to get Kristaps Porzingis. Somebody basically throwing an opinion of one of those hypothetical trades out there. I mean, Jonas Valanciunas, to me, at this point right now, based off of what we have, like what we seen, like he's better than Kristaps Porzingis. So why I'm gonna break my neck to go pay another $15 extra million to go get him, and we already got Jonas Valanciunas.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, Trapper BG says Zion top 5 player next year. Go Pels. Thank you, Trapper BG. Go Pels to you. State of the Pelicans. Go Pels. Elites in the building. Go Pels as well. I got you, Elite. All right. So with that being said,
Kristaps Porzingis, grade CTC. That's who KP is.
All right, Pelicans roster. Let's delve into this one right here. And this is coming from the Pelican Debrief covering the article, ranking the 5 best three-point shooters on the Pelican roster. This is a big part of it. Pelicans, man, listen. Let's get into it. New Orleans Pelicans best three-point shooters. Number 2, Brandon Ingram here. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right here. Make sure here. I think this might, let's start. Yeah, it was wrong. All right, New Orleans Pelicans were a poor three-point shooting team last season, which is not what you want when you have an interior force like Zion Williamson. The Pelicans got plenty of open looks, but did not knock enough of them down, which is how they ended up the 25th in the league for three-point percentage. There's a debate about whether the Pelicans have improved their shooting, and they don't really have a guy who's considered a lights-out shooter from long range. The Pelicans didn't have a single player crack the 40% from three-point range, which is pretty much the cutoff line from the good to the elite. Now, they lost the most prolific long-range shooter when they traded Lonzo Ball, and these 5 guys are going to try and make up for it and hopefully improve the Pelicans' overall team shooting. Here's a ranking of the 5 best shooters currently on the roster. The New Orleans Pelicans, best three-point shooter, number 5, Tomas Satoransky. The fact that Satoransky made this list shows you exactly how dire the Pelican shooting really is. And he's not a guy who's considered much of a threat from long range. Satoransky shot 35.6% last season for the Bulls on just 2 attempts per game. So he's not a high volume guy, and his accuracy is about league average. So it's unclear how much run Satoransky will get with the Pelicans next season. But if he does play off the bench, he should get some better looks as long as one of Zion Williamson or Brandon Ingram is in the game. Now, Satoransky is pretty much average, which is enough to make the list for the Pelicans' best shooters, unfortunately. All right, going to the next one. Next, number 4, or the number ranked 4 best shooter, NAW. Again, NAW making the list is not a great sign for the Pelicans, according to Kellen Strauss, as he too is pretty average from beyond the arc. NAW shot just 34.7% on just under 5 attempts per game last season, then often took too many three-pointers, in my opinion, as he's a much better finisher around the rim and from the mid-range. However, NAW's improvement from range is going to be a factor in the Pelicans' success next season, as if he can shoot it will allow the Pelicans to go with some jumbo starting lineups with him at 1, which would improve their defense, which I actually like that jumbo lineup. NAW can look like an amazing shooter at times, but he needs to improve his consistency. Now, number 3, the Rook, Trey Murphy III. It doesn't take much to make this list, as Trey Murphy III hasn't even played a real game for the Pelicans yet, and he might already be the best shooter. Murphy III shot 43% in college and has a smooth stroke, which we saw him unleash in a few big summer league games. All Murphy III is going to be asked to do offensively is make 3-point shots, and is going to get plenty of open ones. So he could very well end up being the team's number 3-point specialist off the bench. Now, getting to number 2, BI. Most people think of Ingram as a mid-range scorer, but his 3-point shooting has improved dramatically since he came into the league. Ingram hit 38.1% of his threes on 6.1 attempts per game, but I think he has another level from long range, and we'll see it next season. I think Willie Green's offense is going to have less isolation and more ball movement, which should lead to more open threes for Ingram and fewer tough contested shots from the mid-range. Ingram is also going to feed from the second level, but if he can increase his volume and accuracy from long range, it will open up that part of his game even more. And, of course, number 1 is Devontae Graham. Lonzo Ball's replacement, Devontae Graham, would take over as the team's best 3-point shooter next season. Graham shot 37.5% on just under 9 attempts per long range last season. And when you dig into the numbers, he looks like he'll be even better for the Pelicans. Graham shot 42.3% on catch and shoot 3-pointers last season, and he figures to get even more of them next season, as he won't be handling the ball as much and will be taking most of his shots from long range. Graham has a chance to fill that role well and to be the better fit for the Pelicans than Lonzo, even if Lonzo is slightly better player overall in estimations of Kellen Strauss. So, DC, that's the top 5 we're dealing with here. In Kellen Strauss' mind, and he just goes according to the statistics and put Graham at the top. So let's delve into it.
I think I would go with Bi over Graham for as the best 3-point shooter on our team.
What's up, Kai?
Based off of his percentages, him doing it at a high clip, and he's been doing it. That would be nice if Graham can overtake him and be number 1. If I had to pick a guy, I think Trey Murphy probably would wind up having the potential to be our number 1 if you want to base it on just 3-point shooting and percentage and looks and everything. Graham is definitely up there, but we don't know how that's gonna turn out. I don't know if he's gonna have the same attempts that he was able to have with Charlotte, with Valanciunas also coming on board, and then you still got to feed Bi and Zion and NAW. You know what I mean? So I think he picked 3 of probably the best guys you could pick. What's up, True Louisiana? But I don't know about the order, so pretty close. He just, like you said, looking at the numbers, because Graham is a good 3-point shooter, but even on the eyeball test, man, if I'm looking at Ingram and I'm looking at him as far as efficiency, just the whole thing, I don't know if he's better than Bi, but it's real close. So, it's almost like pulling straws, bro. But Trey Murphy, at least he got him in there. And Satoransky, I mean, you just threw him in there because I guess who else you going to put in there, right? But I do think we're going to have a guy like maybe a guy like Josh Hart might be a lot better this year shooting 3-pointers than people are expecting. He can go back to what he usually shot him at, which was about 35%. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was shooting with the Lakers. So you can see a guy like him. You can also have a shocker and be a guy like Jonas Valanciunas, because I think the Pelicans they're trying to push him into a role to help fit, which I think they're gonna want him to take more shots. And one of the reasons I don't think he has an extension is because they want to see how it's gonna fit. Or maybe they're looking to trade him and I'm completely wrong. That could also be an option too. But Jackson Hayes is also somebody too that could come out of the woodworks. We got 2 big guys that could potentially be a lot better shooting. You know what I mean? He could be a lot better 3-point shooting, what I'm looking for. So maybe one of those guys could creep into that list instead of Satoransky. So that would be welcomed, in my opinion, because are we even sure Tomas Satoransky is going to get major minutes with the second unit? We don't know whether they're going to go with Kyra. We don't know if Josh Hart going to take his minutes. We don't know how that's going to look. So putting him number 5. I ain't sure about that, but everything else was cool. Putting Westbrook in the dress. Come on, bro.
No, it was a picture of Westbrook with him.
Nah, he had a dress on, though.
Yeah.
And LeBron doing squats, letting some man grab his booty. So something going on. Like, they tripping.
Well, I mean, that's a part of the culture. You
They
gotta play.
tripping, bro.
You gotta play you know how that go. You gotta play to be in that game, man. That's the
They got
Hollywood
people
culture.
who don't play that game, though, bro, and they still
I know Swag
find
out.
their way on our TV. So.
DC finally got the man
Man,
name.
I been
right.
got his name right, man. Been got that right, man. You heard Jaleel in the beginning of the show. I've been using my hooked on phonics, bro.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a
You
name
see,
right.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you, bro.
Got a name right, bro. I learned how to read in 3 short weeks, man.
There you go. That's
Hurricane Ida do it to you, bro.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Reading a lot of books when you ain't got no damn power.
Hopefully you're reading them outside where you got to put in their light.
I got candles.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Big ups to Bishop One Love. Thank you for cash out, Bishop. You didn't interrupt, my friend. You much love to you. Appreciate you being here, and thanks for your cash out, my friend. Thank you. All right, big ups to the fam, man,
right,
as well, being up in here as well.
Lying, bro.
That's right, Carl. To say LA is different. Yeah, no doubt about it, man. You know that game, you got to pay, and that ain't nothing new, family. They got so many people that came out and blew the whistle
DJ?
on the culture of Hollywood. So it ain't really nothing that's a surprise to me or shouldn't be anybody that heard it. There's too many people out there that blew the whistle on that stuff out there. And you got, in order to get up way, way high, you got to pay to play. If you don't know what that means, use your imagination. All right, so big ups to the rest of it. Okay, DJ, good to see you up in the building as well. BQ? What's that?
What you paying then? You got to take a toll down the Hershey Highway? What you talking about?
You're going to have to use your imagination there, DC. I can't address that shit on here, man. You crazy? The Hershey Highway. What the hell?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of chocolate.
Well, hey, man, I listen here, bro. I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, Willie, what's happening, famsies? What did I tell you? Oh, yeah, Willie, that's part of the game there, man. That's part of the game. On Q with Big Q, man, on our Patreon, man. A lot of the Pelican flocks might not know about our Patreon. We got a Patreon, patreon.com/media network.
Willie said you gotta touch your big toe.
That's, you know what? And
really? The big toe.
You got, this is the thing, man. Like, that's why I be telling, family members, like, listen, man, if you won't really have the liberation and the freedom, start your own stuff. Don't, because if they started those leagues, remember, and see, they like to try to make you forget shit, but I don't forget. I remember when they started the NBA that they wouldn't let black people play in that league. I remember that. Same thing with the NFL, same thing with the MLB, same with all that. But they had Negro leagues. You had Negro League baseball, that football, they had all that. Not just baseball. They had Negro leagues, meaning we had, black people had their own leagues. So, I mean, a major part of it is controlling and having your own stuff so you don't have to pay such a high toll to get up in that society and compromise yourself. Don't compromise yourself, fam. Whatever you do, whatever they're offering is not worth your soul and who you are and your sanity, man. And it's unfortunate. But anyway, that's a subject for a different show. Don't compromise, fam. Whatever you do, don't compromise. All right,
right.
So
that's right, 504 Doc. That's what I was trying to tell him when they said I was saying the man name wrong, bro. When he be balling out, I told him to call him Zadaransky. You hear me? He said, "Oh, you messing his name up." Nah, man, Zadarans is our sponsor, bro. That's some New Orleans stuff. We changed that boy name, Zadarans.
504 Doc. That's actually a pretty good nickname, Zadaransky. Yeah, because he and then that's a pretty good nickname.
He actually said Zadaranson, but I said Zadaransky. You heard me?
No, you was just mispronouncing his name. You wasn't.
Because I put a Z. I told you knock that S. I put a Z on it.
I don't think you meant to do
S
that.
and that K out of here.
You didn't plan that, DC. You screwed that up. You called him Zadaransky. You did not plan that.
I screwed up talking about the living roster, huh?
No, sir. I'm talking about when you was pronouncing Zadaransky and you was having all those issues trying to pronounce his name.
You can't even say his goddamn name right. You saying the man name wrong.
I'm saying no. I'm telling you I'm saying what you said, not what I said, sir. I've been saying the man name correctly. You had an issue with it, sir. Yes, that's right. All right. Willie Bibbin says you got to touch the
What?
big toe swagged out. Yeah, of course. Right. All right. All right. Big ups to the fam, man. Much love to all y'all. What's up, brother Jindal? Who that to you? And go Pels to you as DC drop shit all over the place. All right. Elite. Yeah. Elite says Tomas Zanaransky. Sanaransky. I'll tell you, it'll be a fire little nickname for him, but he won't have it very long because somebody said he might get moved.
He gonna be here.
KK say pay attention, Zion, if you thinking about jumping. Okay, yeah, it's cold-blooded game. Man.
I don't buy that, man. Like Zion
sounds like he belongs down there, though. His last name, LOL. Yeah, I know that. And that don't that go with it?
Right.
True. Go ahead, DC.
Zion be posting stuff on his Instagram. He posting Michael Jordan stuff all over the place, bro. You can't. The dude he look up to, that I see him liking is the dude he signed with, Jordan. And what Jordan thing was, man, he really ain't go nowhere. He went through the fire, bro. He made it work where he was at. I don't see. You either got the LeBron template these guys follow, or they look towards like the old school guys, like a Kobe or a MJ. And Zion seemed to be on the other side. You know, the guys that follow the LeBron template, like KD reminds me of a guy, like I think he looked up to LeBron probably a little bit more than MJ and those guys. And you see what he's doing. So their influences are their I wouldn't say mentors because maybe his mentor now, but maybe not when he was younger, but idol, for lack of a better word, for those guys, you know what I'm saying? He just seems to be old school. So all this talk about Zion leaving, I'm just not buying it, man. Now I think if we go ahead and we don't do nothing the man want us to do, we keep jacking everything up like just ridiculously. Yeah, maybe it would, but if we go out there, we win games, man, and we making progress, I don't think Zion going to win. He'll be signing a $200-something deal. Pelicans gonna be in the playoffs, and we're gonna be contending for a championship. So ain't nothing to worry about, in my opinion. I think he's not saying nothing with his family don't like it, just to try to put some pressure on us so we can actually make moves. I mean, a smart man, ain't that what you would do? He ain't say he didn't want to be here. He ain't say he leaving. He just being quiet.
Well, I mean, the frustration comes too. Like if you're making some moves, you always got the best part of the game is you got to make sure you keep your stars in the rotation as far as information is going and far as what direction of the team is going. And then of course it'll behoove you to get insight from them and make them feel a part of it because really it's driven on their backs and their effort along with the coach. So you want everybody to be in there. But like we often talked about the octopus, and I would keep saying this because it was because of the flock and a lot of the family members out there in the Pale Nation that was putting the onus, us included, on top of Griffin and not letting them scan away with it. And we had family members that was coming over saying, QU and DC are, one of few people that's keeping the finger on Griffin. Everybody else is giving them a pass and listening to the BS and saying, probably no, you ain't gonna run that process bullshit down here in the Big East. We won't let you do that. We ain't foolish like that to let you lose for years and saying in an attempt to think that this is a plan to lead a bunch of losing ass ways is ultimately going to lead us to some winning. You ain't going to run that on us. We ain't going to play that with you.
Right.
So that's the first thing we did to keep it, because it takes courage, it takes some heart, and it takes balls of up thing to be able to point the finger at these people and say, man, you ain't doing nothing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're full of it. And I point my finger square at him. I called him an octopus because of his propensity to interfere. And then you seen on this last move, he started using, that's right, DC, he started using Tranger Langdon and Swing Cash a lot more than what he was using previously because he was trying to get that credit. But man, I tell you, I just got so much love for the Pelicans. And a lot of the people, the national people were saying they had to give credit to I remember reading an article about them giving credit to the Pale Nation for putting Griffin's feet to the fire. Keeping it there. Hell yeah. I read an article saying that. I was like, wow, they're looking in there.
We should have brought that on the show, bro.
I should have, and I will. I'm gonna find that goddamn article and put it out there. All right, so let's do this, DC. We got.
I saw a family talking about Giannis in the chat, and I just want to point one thing out, man. First off, shout outs to him. Congratulations to Giannis for winning the championship, because I have never in my life seen somebody win the championship, drop 50 points in championship game, finals MVP, the whole nine, and they celebrated the man for a week, and then just went back to talking about LeBron and KD. Like he didn't even win a damn championship. I just want to point that out, bro. But yeah, I see what y'all talking about, family, getting it out the mud, like you just put out there. I think Zion looking at that, man. But man, they ain't doing nothing but putting the chip on that dude's shoulder and creating a monster out of Giannis, bro. Because I can't believe he ain't getting no damn
What's
respect,
up,
in my
Damon?
opinion.
Yeah, yeah, he's not, man, and that's what they do. That's why it's a lot of those guys we despise them. They talk about the stars and where the teams that compact a bunch of stars because that's where they believe the action is. So they'll talk about Brooklyn. They'll talk about LeBron's Lakers. We'll talk about some of the big market teams all day, and throw the little market guys in there and give you a little bit of, because they think that's where it is. Because they want to drive all of the
Q,
big
they
people to
talking
the big
about the
market. So
championship with the Lakers and the Nets. They don't
I
even
know,
mention the Bucks, bro.
like the
I
Bucks
just
might
think
have
that's
something to say.
crazy, bro.
It
That's
is crazy,
crazy.
but that's an agenda to drive to get views because they're talking about stars or a collection of a lot of players like LaMarcus Aldridge had health problems. He got cleared, unretired, and then went to Brooklyn.
The man ain't played in a year though, bro. LaMarcus Aldridge is not gonna be LaMarcus Aldridge for at least half the season.
We
He gonna
know that.
spend the first quarter of the season just getting in basketball shit.
We
You know
know
what
that.
I
Yeah.
mean? So
Right.
it's but they making all this hype and big stuff about, man. Them dudes is one injury away from either one of them not making it to the goddamn finals. I don't
Right.
need all that.
And you got Harden and all those guys. And remember, and KD, and as good as they are, man, them guys sure do miss a lot of games, hurt like a dog. I'm just going to be honest with you. Big ups to Tyler.
KD not,
Go
but
Pels,
the other
Tyler.
two, you right.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant missed time too. He missed a lot of time too,
We had that
DC.
one point in time with the Achilles. Other
I
than
hear
that,
you, but still in all, he missed a
yeah.
lot of time. I'm just saying. All right, Devontae from Mayor says he's not going anywhere. He got two more Carolina boys in starting lineup with him now. Thank you,
Right.
Devontae, for Mayor, and big ups to the rest of the flock. KK, Tyler, go Pels to you guys. Brother Damien, go Pels to you, True Louise Animal, and Willie, go Pels. All y'all, thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button. Thank you. All right, so DC, before we bring DJ in, and if family y'all will join tonight's stream, the link is pinned to the top of the Pale chat. So hit that link if you want to pop in. We'll get you in there so you guys can do your thing. All right, so outside of that, DC, let's do a top three. I don't want to keep DJ waiting too long, but let's do a top three of great human beings based on see, we take requests based on what was said in the chat. Now, who was that saying that in the chat? Was that DB? I won't say that was DB saying
I
saying
got
that.
my
Am I right?
top three already, man.
All right, let's hear it. Let's go for it.
Number two, bro. Just based off of what I seen this week and just how he interacts with his family. Newly drafted player Trey Murphy, bro. Great human being. Number three to me on the team. I'm gonna let you deal with staff and stuff. I'm only gonna do players. Uh, the number two guy. A lot of people talking about what they gonna do for as helping with the city and the recovery efforts, and not hearing much from Zion and all of that. But Zion's my number two guy as a great human being, for the simple fact that when this team got shut down last year, man, that man went in his own pockets and paid the Pelicans staff and as well as some other
Arena
people,
workers.
arena workers. I think he paid people at hospitals and I think it was deeper than just the Pelicans, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he that was big, man. I gotta give him a lot of
Right.
respect
For
for
that,
that.
for that, man, he's number two
Right.
greatest
That was
human
wonderful.
being, bro. Gotta give him props. And my
Right.
number one guy, I'm breaking the rule, Q. He's no longer physically on the roster, but he will forever be on the roster in
Drew
spirit.
Holiday.
It's gonna be Drew Holiday, man. This dude don't even play for us no more. And he's over there with old Pelicans players organizing, getting trucks of generators and
Yep.
water and stuff to come down here, man. On
Yep.
top of all the other things that the man that did, donated $5 million out of his own salary to help us out here, bro. So that's my number one greatest human being. I know he ain't here as a player, but that dude was always a good dude, bro. We clown Drew a little bit about how he look, and it may talk sometimes. We've had a lot of little different jokes, but we always did have a lot of love for Drew Holiday, as Drew Holiday has a lot of love for us, bro, here in Nolan. I never forget that, and I always respect him for that.
All right. Well, okay. I'm definitely have to. That's a really good three, DC, especially Drew Holiday. That's the ultimate right there. he won the community award or what was the teammate award before they
Best
shipped him out
teammate
here.
in the league. Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that
he
was so horrible optically to me, bro. The
it
dude won
was.
the award for the best teammate in the league,
But I
and he got traded the next week.
yeah,
I just thought that was so weird.
we knew that. We knew that's what
I
kind of
know,
guy
but
this
just the
is.
timing of it, though, Q, it
I
just
know.
looks all wrong
I
to
know.
me, at least.
Well, I mean, I'm in the optics, so you're absolutely right. It wasn't a good look, and
Roy,
being commented on.
Roy McCoy said Griff gave
Wow,
Drew permission to be a
weirdest
good
shit in the
human
world.
being.
These
I couldn't
people.
even finish the goddamn sentence.
I'm gonna have to say this, DC, the top three human beings on the team. I like what you were saying about what you was talking about with the young guy, what's his name,
Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy the third, and what he doing. I think Zion Trey Murphy would be my third
Well, they say
guy.
Zion, Brandon Ingram, and a
Zion,
bunch of the other. They working with the
yeah,
organization to
yeah,
try to do something.
you know, I was about to say I was gonna do combination of Zion and Bi together, what they're doing, and then of course my third guy would of course be
Hey,
the
give Bi
the
some
love
love.
doctor, the love doctor, Willie Green. Great, ultimate, great human being that'll bring them all together. So I put Willie Green at the top of it.
Willie Green is
It-
spreading a lot of love around the
there you
Pelicans
go.
arena at this
There you
time
go.
right now.
That's why Willie gets the number one human being award in the Pelican building. So much love to the fam. Thank y'all for that as we get going. All right, we got State of the Pelicans DJ and Brother Jalil on tonight's panel. Just to let the family members know, if you guys want to get in on the panel, please feel free to hit the link at the top of the Pale Chat to get on tonight's stream. We won't be running all the way into 5 o'clock. We won't be doing that tonight, but we.
Don't tell James that.
Each one either.
Each one, yeah, each one.
Each one, each one to
every
run you
time we
into the
get them
moon.
all here together, boy. Ooh.
Each one to run you to the moon too. He want to put it on James, but each one to run you to the moon
You
too.
know what it is, Q? He be pushing James buttons, bro. He be messing the man up, and he got to say his statements, and then he talk about how he talking too long. But each one
be resetting the man. He hitting
right,
the reset button on him all the time. You got to
I
start from
went
the
back
beginning.
and listened to the damn show. I'm like, man, he kind of manipulating some of that. And then putting it all on James.
James gonna figure that shit out. He gonna figure it out on the next time. Say, I know what you're doing, man, and I'm gonna pick up right where I left off. You gonna have me reset.
It was funny too.
All right, so let's bring him in. We got DJ. DJ, welcome to the show, and Brother Jalil, welcome into the show, my friend. How y'all doing today?
What's good? What's good? Peace to the Pelicans. My name is DJ, and you're now tuned in to the Pelican post game report.
DJ is in the building. Thank you, DJ.
Right. What's up, DJ?
Brother Jalil, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. What's good with y'all, dog?
We good, my friend. Good to hear from you guys, man, up in this thing, man. What's on your mind today, my friend? We'll start with you, DJ. What's on your mind in the Pale Nation, friend?
Okay, so I have a question. My question goes out to everybody in the chat and as well as the panel. Do you guys think that Thomas Skanarski make the roster?
Just say Zadaransky, DJ.
Zadaransky, and what do we do with Garrett Temple? Do we release him or do we keep him, or like what's going on with that?
You want to answer first, Big Q? Or you...
Well, I mean, man, that's yet to be determined on it. To be honest with you, DJ, because we got to see what when training camp starts, the preseason starts. Willie Green put his lineup together, but Satoransky is a big, tall guard that can handle the ball. I mean, he ain't all that defensively, but he's an effort guy.
He better than I thought, Q. I was watching some stuff on him. He's not bad defensively, bro.
Right. He ain't enough for me to start bragging on, but he is, like I said, he'll give you an effort.
He's smart, bro. He's smart defensively. He know what it be.
Garrett Temple is another dude that has all of that veteran experience and can shoot the three-pointer a little bit for you as well. And one of Garrett's, I think one of his sticking points early on in his career, he got a little older, was that he was a guy that could play a little defense. So these are very intelligent veterans they have, but it's yet to be determined, in my opinion, where Garrett Temple would fit in Willie Green's style of system. I mean, we have a lot of different lineups that we can run. I was made mention of earlier about a jumbo lineup that Kellen Strauss from Pelican Debrief Talk touched on, where he had NAW at 1, BI at 2, Najee Marshall at 3, Zion and Big V. A jumbo lineup of guys, big guards and big guys that make it difficult for you, while having Graham come off the bench. But it just it's yet to be determined, and it's I'll let the panel chime in on that, on where they think Temple fits. But man,
Well,
we'll have to see. Go ahead,
well,
DJ.
the lineup that I previously saw was Nikhil at the 1. I believe Najee Marshall at the 2. Uh, Bi 3, Zion 4, and JV at the 5. How you feel about that?
It's not bad. It's not a bad lineup. But I mean, like a lot of people think the money lined up, and I think DC, he was talking about this before, and we were covering it here. Was, so you look at a guy like a Graham. People think Graham at 1, it's like, well, Q's more of a 2 than a 1. Maybe what we seen in Hornet country, but maybe here there's a vision to have him at the 1 because he can facilitate. We've seen him facilitate when he was with the Hornets, but he played the role that whatever they wanted him to play in that style of offense out there. But that guy can play the 1 position for you. He can't distribute the ball. He will kill you with open 3-point shots, and he has that. I don't say Donovan Mitchell confidence. Like he feels
got
like
a little bit of that in his game,
bro. He feels like he can get to that basket every time, get there and make something happen. He got good speed there, and plus he hits 84% of his free throws. So I mean, he's intriguing. But NAW is another guy people won't see at the 2 because of his defense and 3-point shooting as well. Then the rest fills himself out. But that's the basic lineup that a lot of people are looking at and agreeing with. Graham, NAW, and of course the other 3 are very is easy to figure out with Zion, BI, and Big V.
For the past 3 years that we had 3 coaches, because Willie Green would be our 3rd coach. Is Willie Green going to adjust his lineup, starters as well, for each game? Like, okay, for an example, the Brooklyn Nets. Well, no, I can't say that. Help me out, DC. Like, adjust, like, because Graham is 6'1". You're not gonna put him on
right?
like Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving or somebody that's bigger than him, or like Ben Simmons or somebody like that. Is Willie Green gonna adjust his lineup for each game?
I believe so, DJ, and the proof is in what we see teams like the Warriors do.
Go ahead and say it, DC.
The what we see the Suns do.
Go ahead and call it out, DC.
What are you talking about? What's wrong, bro?
Say, bro, you heard what that man asked you, bro. You heard what he asked you. He asked you, will the man do what to the roster?
Adjust his lineup.
What is that called?
So according to
no. What is it called, DC?
It's called a roster that's alive. How about that?
No, it's called a living roster. That's what it's called.
So apparently, according to Big Q, the roster is going to be much like myself, according to him.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm supposed to be a living roster. So
you are definitely on that.
He's highlighting me. But yeah, DJ, I definitely believe Willie Green will do that because the 2 coaches that he came from up under, and Steve Kerr and Monty Williams, they both did that. You know what I'm saying? Cam, what was Cam Thomas? I think that was his name for Phoenix. As he played better and the matchups dictated, he got more time. You know what I'm saying? They went with sitting DeAndre Ayton down at periods of time, trying to go with centerless roster to try to make up for stuff. They were willing to try stuff and make adjustments based on what they saw working. And I mean, I know Monty Williams is the head coach, but I think Willie Green is a guy that played a part in that too. And it just seems to me from the way he talks and what he talks about us being versatile. Like he always talks about versatility when you hear about Willie Green talk and talk about the roster. And if you look at all the players we got,
That's
the
right.
reason we're constantly talking about who's gonna be here is Sadaransky gonna be on the team. What we gonna do with Garrett Temple? Is Graham gonna start? All of these things speak to versatility. It speaks these are good problems to have. If you're a team that wasn't already, you know, and you're going into next season and you have a roster and you have enough guys that are good enough to where you're trying to figure out who gonna play when. That's a good problem to have. That means you're gonna have a very exciting, a very intense training camp, in my opinion. I think Willie Green being a younger coach too and a former player,
Yep.
he don't have that ideology like an older coach that didn't play the game at the highest level, which a lot of times you see those guys do. What we complained about with Stan Van Gundy. They have certain guys that they want, or they want them to play, and whether they playing good or bad right now, they gonna play their guys. Younger coaches, player coaches, to me, they seem more like they gonna go off of what they seeing at the time and what they seeing with their eyes. So if you playing good, you practicing good, you performing, like you gonna play yourself on the floor. So different lineups, different rosters, you know what I'm saying, from other teams will be dictated by our living roster, you know what I'm saying, on who we start, who finishes the game, you know what I'm saying, who gets more minutes in the game. I think it's way bigger than starting and finishing. Because if we're actually a very good team, the way I think we will be, we could put whatever we want out there to start the game. We could put Devontae Graham out there with Ben Simmons to start the game if that's what we feel like doing. Like we don't want to let them dictate to us to change our roster. You know what I mean? But as the game goes on, if it's a problem, be able to make the proper adjustment. I think who ends the game is a lot more important than who starts the game. Like that's why I wouldn't be opposed to seeing somebody we wouldn't even expect in the starting lineup, like a Josh Hart. If we went with maybe a Josh Hart in NAW or something, like damn, what are we doing? But when you close the game out, Devontae Graham is closing out the game instead of Josh Hart or whatever, however they would decide to do it. It's gonna be a lot of different combinations, and I just think that's a recipe for winning, man. When you look at teams that have that, they're usually in better positions as far as winning and contending than teams that don't.
I mean, according to 2K, and I'm gonna let everybody else chime in. I mean, according to 2K22, because I do have it. They got Devontae Graham, Josh Hart, B.I., Zion, and JV.
I don't think Josh Hart would start over NAW with Devontae Graham. Like NAW is like 2-3 inches taller than Josh Hart, and then I don't know. I don't see them. If Josh Hart gonna be in the lineup, I see NAW being there. Because I mean, what are you doing that for other than defensively? So why not? Why stop there? You want? Well, I guess you could put Devontae Graham, but we gonna see, DJ. We gonna see. I don't think that's the best lineup we could put out there. I think NAW gives us more than Josh Hart for his creativity, flexibility, and he kind of do a lot of stuff that Josh Hart does, other than the rebounding. And I'm looking at it like Josh Hart is one of the best rebounders. Who we got? That's a great rebounder on the second unit.
Najee Marshall.
Great. He's good.
Not great. I mean,
he's not better than Josh Hart.
That's on the backup lineup. That's best. That's about as good as I can get.
All right, now look at our bigs.
Well, I mean, what was Billy Hernan Gomez? He was 7 and what was it, 7 and 8
like
or something
10,
like
10
that?
To 7 or something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, he had like 7 of them. I want to say 7.
Jackson Hayes, we know he's still working on it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as his rebounding, he got some work to do. So I think Josh Hart could possibly be with the bench unit, as I contradict myself just talking about the NAW Josh Hart lineup. But thinking about it, I think his rebounding capabilities could be used. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a guy who's shooting guard size, big shooting guard size that could damn near line up and play power forward. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if they need him in the starting lineup with that attribute. They need that on the second unit, honestly, the more I think about it.
I mean, you just mentioned Jackson Hayes and of course Billy Hernan Gomez. Some of these
They're not
guys,
great rebounders.
no,
They're
they're not.
decent.
But maybe by committee. I mean, not individually speaking, but by committee.
Willie Herman Gomez and Jackson Hayes are probably not going to play together.
Probably not.
Right.
You probably see more Billy Hernan Gomez if
Trey
there's
Murphy's a decent
injury there.
rebounder too. I'm hoping.
I mean,
or
straight
just
Jones,
based off of what I've seen.
straight Jacket Jones.
He is.
Is a good rebounder, but how often will you see him in that in the
I
Pelican
think he's
lineup
gonna
as
look
well?
real good next to Jackson Hayes, in my opinion, bro. If he could just get his 3-ball down, bro, just be able to have a just a little 3-ball shot to keep people honest, bro. I think that would look real good.
I mean, it's possible. You know, DB is asking about straight Jacket Jones. Is he going to get some minutes? I mean, I would love to see the kid, but what they saying, word on the street with him is he could be possibly headed to the G League. So I mean, we'll see how it all goes as they are assembling the G League team. We know Zylan Cheatham, who was on there. He was brought in.
Malcolm Hill too, right?
Malcolm, yeah, Mike. Was it Mike Hill or Malcolm? I think it's Malcolm Hill.
It's Malcolm Hill.
Yeah, Hill was brought in.
He was on the team last year.
That's right, and they still adding players to the G League team, so we'll know soon enough on that. Thank you for the DB. But anyway, I like to welcome in the rest of the family. His brother Jalil's up next. We got each one teach one on the mic as well. He chiming in. If you want to get on the Pale channel for the night, on the Pale chat tonight, family, please feel free to hit the link in the Pale chat at the top, and you can pop up here. Brother Jalil, the floor is yours, my friend.
All right, what's good, y'all? Hope everybody doing well. Hope the flock is cool. Each one teach one. James ain't here, so you ain't gotta load up the hollow tips, bro. So
ran
just
them
chill.
off, bro. Ran James off, bro.
Just chill, my G. But I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna just put out a hot take. No is winning MIP this year. I don't give a damn what nobody say. If he don't win, he gonna be second place. I believe this man coming through this season, he is gonna be the most improved player. And he's the X factor, in my opinion. If he does well and he exceeds expectations, how I think he's going to do, we can end up being 6th seed, maybe even 5th seed. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's going to go as far as he will take us. Now, of course, you need your BI. Of course, you need your Zion. You know what I'm saying? But if they did what they did last year, they'll be fine. Excluding the defense. More of them need to include the defense. Let me put that out there. But no, I think, bro, his game is just so far complete. You know what I'm saying? Just watching him, his highlights, him doing Team Canada. I mean, bro, he just has a whole bag in his arsenal. All he got to do is just perfect his decision-making and perfect his streakiness and his consistency. And I think he can be like, bro, he can be our third star at some point in time. But that's pretty much all I want to say.
All right. I think our defense gonna be a lot better, Jalil. I think we're gonna love them into submission with the Willie Green's philosophy of defense. You know,
yeah, we're gonna love them in the submission. Hey man, if we get them to miss some 3-pointers, I'm cool with it. Much better than SVG. He was like, nah, man, don't hug him. Stay back. Let him shoot 3.
The philosophy of love will be like a clingy girlfriend. You know, we're gonna suffocate him on defense, bro.
Hey,
that's
man.
not right, DC.
Nah, that's your experience, DC.
Yeah, that's right. That clingy girlfriend.
I said a clingy girlfriend. You know,
why you had to say all that, bro? Why you had to say clingy girlfriend?
Trying out some analogies, bro.
Oh no, that might be you. Might be trying to self-expose
a
little bit, brother.
I ain't got no girlfriend right now. I'm single, bro. I'm living a living roster. Like I'm single.
Oh, I know. I hear you, bro. I got you, brother. But yeah, but Coach Willie just chimed in right quick. He said that's not so, DC.
Well, okay. Go ahead and correct me, Coach. Let me know where I got it wrong. Tell us how the defense gonna work in the philosophy of love.
Well, thank you for giving me the floor, DC.
You're welcome.
Number one is this. If you look at what we have in mind for the Pelicans, it's quite simple. Your clingy girlfriend analogy doesn't fly here. Pun intended. And the reason why I say that is because that type of love is not real love. There's only one type of love. It's unconditional love. Everything else is counterfeits or opposites of that type of love. You see, love is love. And other types of
Hey,
love
is
is
that
not love.
unconditional love shampoo before it's conditioned or
You
unconditioned?
DC, you're making jokes. I'm trying to be serious here. Okay, sir, let me finish. The Pelicans will buy into this because you've seen the proof in the pudding about what we did on the in the summer league. Simply, communication is key. Communication is a big caveat of love. Letting everybody know where they need to be and why they need to be there, and also having fun. If you can get people to buy in with the scheme in terms of them having fun and understanding not just the schematic aspect of it, but also the family aspect that we all are winning as a family, then you'll see true progress there. So, like I said, and I'll reiterate, my friend, that your clingy girlfriend analogy does not fly in Willie Green's doctrine of love, my friend.
So, Mr. Willie,
Yes, sir. I wasn't really
uh,
taking questions, but I guess since
uh, sorry to bust your bubble, but I do have a question for you. The people that we signed for the 2-way contract, who did you have making the 16-man roster?
well, thank you, State of the Pelicans. I just want to say this right now. That's yet to be determined. We have to get all of these guys together and see what they can offer, see who fits the doctrine of love better, and who's buying in, and then we'll put the best players possible on the court. But right now, we have not begun the process here of getting them all on the court at the same time. So to give you a realistic uh, uh, roster, no disrespect to you, DC. I know you're kind of sensitive about that word, but to be able to give you a true account of what's going on, we'll have to wait till later on
What
when we
about
start going through the
a
practice sessions.
loving roster? Can we go with that?
I like that, DC. That is very good. That's a
A
lot better
loving
than the
roster.
clingy girlfriend analogy. That's not a good
Well, I was
mix.
saying, a clean girlfriend because the defense be suffocating. I thought that was a pretty good analogy, Coach.
I have nothing to say about that, sir.
And you talked about communication. I mean, a clingy girlfriend over communicates.
No. A clingy girlfriend, that's not
Don't we
no.
want over communication on defense? Can you have over communication
Yes,
on
sir. You
defense?
can.
You can.
There's an under and an over. If you there is you could be doing too much, no doubt about
Too
it.
much communicating on
You
defense.
could be doing too much communication to the point where players are over communicating and getting confused by this over amount of communication. So yes, that is a possibility.
Okay, Coach. Okay, you the
Hmm.
coach. I gotta listen to you.
This is true. This is true. We have everything out. It has to be balanced, DC. It's a balance. You don't want to eat
So,
too much
coach,
curry or a jerk chicken at the same time. You might get sick. You got to pick one and then other. DC, I had jerk chicken tonight, by the way. Go ahead, brother Jalil.
What mine at?
so coach,
Buy your
I,
own
I
damn chicken.
Oh, didn't you? I thought you cooked it. Yeah, Big Q is a Jamaican chef. I don't know if y'all knew.
Go
He
ahead,
make
Jalil.
all type of Jamaican dishes.
That he does.
Don't you make meat patties and stuff too?
No, I only did that once. It was good too.
See, get tapping back into your roots. I think you part of that living roster too.
I am. Without all of the without the braids and the dreads and everything. Brother Jalil, you was saying something, my friend.
yes, Coach Willie, I just want to
Yes,
let
sir.
you know something. Uh, I just want to say thank you for taking over this roster full of young prospects and young superstars in the making. And David Griffin kind of messed up everything, but I just want to thank you, sir, and just let you know that I love you.
Brother Jalil, thank you, my brother. And I appreciate you and I love you as well, my friend. And we love the entire flock. And thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to work with you guys and to bring the doctrine of love to the city of New Orleans,
That's
which is
right.
a city that is loaded with love. You
So,
know,
not to cut you off,
I'm
brother.
sorry, this will be my last question. I have to go, but go ahead. And I like what your analysis, DJ from State of the Pelicans. Please feel free to shoot your question.
Man. Okay. So, Coach Willie,
Yes.
as a player that played for New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
How does that advance your knowledge to become a assistant coach / and a head coach for the city that you play for?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, DJ. And let me just phrase it like this. When I played for New Orleans, we played under Monty Williams. And let me tell you, it's a small world because I ended up playing coaching for Coach Monty Williams last year. And we had a really good time. But I've learned a lot from Coach Monty Williams and several other really talented coaches and assistant coaches' philosophy. But as a player, when you're, the schematics and the communication and everything that plays a part of it, it adds another layer to your coaching method when you go from being a player to a coach because you've actually orchestrated some of the things that you want the player to do, as opposed to, say, a Stan Van Gundy who probably didn't do as much. Now, I'm not taking shots at
Wait
Stan
a
Van Gundy.
minute.
But this, this is the thing. But what I'm saying is it adds another layer to what you're doing, is what I'm saying. You actually did these principles as a player, so you know they work, and then you're giving that to the players that you're coaching. And then, of course, there's the communication that the players know that the coach actually played in the league. And then that coach, if he's smart and he could communicate well, he can have that link to the players. And, it's called player coaching. So I think that helps out. In the lineage of coaches that I was underneath as an assistant coach, I was able to pull down philosophies from them as well and made a nice little mix of what I think will be beneficial for the Pelicans. So these are the things that make Coach Willie's love philosophy.
So who was your best teammate when you was playing for the Hornets?
My best teammate was Chris Paul.
CP.
Mm.
Okay.
He was also one of my really good friends. I thought we was going to get him to come over here, but he liked what's going on in the desert. So,
Coach, was that a part of the love doctrine that we were going to give him $100 million for 3 years?
Hey. I only deal with the love. I don't deal with the money, my friend.
Hey, a wise pastor told me, where you love, your money follows.
Was that Creflo Dollar?
It might have been Leroy Thompson.
All right. Well, what I'm saying is that that's just what it is. But they have a vision for the team. We have a shared interest, and we must win this year. Pressure's on me, and the rest of the Pelican Nation are saying that we can do this. And I think the Pelicans are good enough. We just need to make sure we communicate and love each other, and we'll be in the playoffs. And we'll play really tough for each other here in the city of New Orleans. And we'll put together a special brand of basketball that each and every last one of the Pelican faithful will love. So with that being said, I'd like to thank all of you guys for allowing me to pop in on your show. DC, you're doing a fantastic job on your other podcast, Living Life as a Jamaican. I really like that podcast. I expect everybody to subscribe to his other podcast.
Wow. Thank you, Coach.
I'll see you later, DC.
I love you, and that's coming from a very special place of love. Thank you,
DC. Thank you. All right. Well, that's Coach Willie's gone, and each one teach one is on talking about the loving roster, and each one teach one is in the chat. Teach one, how you doing, my brother?
Well, let the church say amen.
Amen.
All right now. Okay, amen.
All right. I'm sorry. I feel it. I feel a presence. I feel a joy.
Let's see you keep that when James pop up here.
Yeah, you can get in there.
Brother,
y'all need to stop instigating,
right. See, Jaleel, that's why I'm going
Jaleel,
to.
you know that's coming,
you first deacon, Jaleel, you first deacon, you first of the pulpit, because you keep things as a mediator consistent. You don't let one side just pick on the other side. And I think you need to be in that motion. You need to be in that lane, Brother Jaleel.
Appreciate that, brother. Each one teach one.
Preach on, brother.
Each one, you all right?
I think his phone might have cut
We got
out.
a yeah,
Yeah, his phone cutting in and
we
out.
got a money line up there. You hear me? You hear me good, DC?
Yeah,
Yeah, you good,
I'm
bro?
hearing you now, bro.
Okay. The money lineup that I see going on, I see they could go Naw at the one, Brandon Ingram at the two, and then Trey Murphy at the three, and Zion at the four, and Valanciunas at the five.
Okay.
Playmaking
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I still think he's cutting
No,
in
I
now.
think, and then Zion gonna have the. You hear me?
We hear you, but you
You
have
going
like a
in and
brief
out, brother. You
1 2
spoke.
second cutout where you cut out and then you come back in talking.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna have to move around a little bit and put this prayer up. Let's see. Can y'all hear me now? Loud and clear in there.
Yes, sir. I can
Yeah,
hear you
yeah,
good
you
right
good
here.
right now.
All right. All right, let's get on with the prayer. All right. Now that lineup there with Null, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and Zion and Valanciunas. I think that's a recipe I think that's a lineup you could put in at the end of games and not have to worry about. I think that's a lineup that everybody's smart, they're adequate, they can do everything that you need them to do, play make, and they all can shoot the three, they can play defense, and they all, can put the ball on the floor. None of them is really lacking anything. Now, we need to talk about the bench. I think the bench is the consistent thing that we all haven't figured out yet how this thing gonna work out. Now I know I like Jackson Hayes. I think if Kyra could come in and he could just keep this ship steady, he can grow like he was doing, like DC said. See a lot of last year with Stan Van Gundy, he stuck with players and we didn't get to see a lot of what other players can do. And so I think there's a lot still left to be desired with Kyra, but he's very young. So I think if grow with having Jackson Hayes on the bench, and then you still got Murphy, you got you got a small forward, a good center who you expect to start one day, and then your backup point you expect to excel. Now, the bench backup two guard, that's where it get interesting because I don't think that is Najee, but Najee can do a little bit more than Josh Hart. And I think Josh Hart, just like DC said, I mean, he just does everything that you want for winning. Championship caliber. Garrett Temple can bring a lineup
Ace.
off the bench and be very valuable. I think he can shoot, he can play defense,
Yeah, you still cutting in
and
and
we
out each one,
only
teach one.
you hear me now? Well, look, I'm gonna pass and then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna see if I can let you connect well.
Okay. All
Alright.
right, brother. Q, where you pulled those positions from, man? Because
That's a
I'm thinking the
guess.
same thing. Like people in the chat, they talking about Kyra playing a two.
Yeah.
Where's Trey Murphy? They just forgot that we drafted him and how good he was looking in summer league.
They got Trey Murphy set up as a 4. Some of them have him listed as 4 and a 3.
That's why I think he's going to Josh Hart in the two and Trey Murphy. You could flip flop him on Najee Marshall. Najee Marshall played power forward before with us. I think he can do that. I like what each one was getting at with his money lineup, but I think I could go one step further, man. And say we take Jonas Valanciunas out in the last 5 minutes, Brian. You go small with Zion, Trey Murphy, Brandon Ingram, NAW, and you throw Devontae Graham in there. Just gonna overpower them on offense. Because I mean, the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes of the game, unless it's a one possession game, I think you can get away with not having top notch defense. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Especially if you catch them when their starters have been came out there after substitution for a while, and they kind of start getting worn down a little bit, like around that 4 minute mark, 3 minute mark,
Mhm.
and you run a lineup like that, I think it could be deadly.
So can
So
I ask
this
y'all just a
okay.
quick question real quick?
What's
Oh,
up?
my bad, DJ.
Go ahead, y'all. Go
Um,
ahead.
I just want to ask. So this season, I think we're built to make a trade by like mid-season time, right?
No doubt.
I personally assume Santa ran the trade exception too. So realistically, what do y'all think
Mm.
who we can actually get when that time comes?
That's a good question.
I know it's a
Mm.
lot of variables to it. It's just what do you think our biggest weakness would be with our current lineup? And do you think we'll address that with the trade that we make? You know what I'm saying? With the player that we get, whoever that may be.
To me, it's
Well,
still that four spot.
Yep.
We probably can fill it with Herb, Straight Jacket Jones. So maybe he could be the guy, but that's the biggest hole to me. Like when you take Zion out, or let's say if you
Mhm.
want to run point Zion and you need somebody to kind of take over some of those, I guess dirty work, things that a forward would do,
Mm.
offensively as well as being able to shoot as a big guy and have a better defense. A guy like Robert Covington to me would be a nice person, a nice guy to go after. I don't know how feasible it would be to get him, and you definitely wouldn't have to give up all those people. But to waste that trade exception on a guy like that, I don't think we do that. So I think they're really just waiting around to kind of see
Mm.
and figure it out because we only can use that trade exception, and then we kind of like I think our hands are gonna be tied for next year because we won't be able to trade a draft pick. You know what I mean? So we got one more shot, and that's it for for a couple of years. We won't be able to pull a move next year because our draft pick is gone. So we'll have to sit that year out. And then if we wanted to get back into trading, that third year we'll be able to do it. So whoever they go with, it's gonna have to be somebody that will definitely make a big impact. And getting rid of a guy like Valanciunas, like I mean, there's got to be a hell of a player coming back, or that you think would elevate you to the next level. So it'll be interesting, man. I honestly don't know who they would try to go at. I mean, I could take a guess on some names, like if a guy like Big Cat became available for whatever reason, obviously they would try to go at him. But right, you can laugh. That's me wishing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
get Cat on this, bruh. If Cat, bruh,
I don't think that will be able to happen, bro. But I mean, we could pull a
it
package
ain't,
together, 5, 6 picks or something, and get him some
bruh.
people. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's realistic to think he gonna go anywhere when he got D'Angelo Russell over there as one of his best friends, and you got the whole
Yep.
Ben Simmons thing. He might wind up over there. They might get
Yep.
rid of Ant Man and put Ben Simmons over there, so they'll have him a little tripod, and they all cool. You know what I mean? So
I know
it's
it ain't
it's,
gonna happen, but man,
it's
if
gonna
it
be
do,
somebody they're
bruh,
gonna go after, bro. Like I mean,
yeah.
there's always players that come available that we would have never expected. So I think the
True.
Pelicans just positioning themselves to see what's up. Like maybe I don't think I would want him at this point now, but I don't know how they feel about Bradley Beal and
Mm.
Jalen Brown might be available. You know what I mean? It could be guys like that. I think they would try to make a way. Which Jalen Brown, I don't know how that would work because Brandon Ingram seems like he don't like him at all. But you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
it's gonna be a lot of sellers by mid-season because there's a
Right.
lot of teams out here that spent stupid money on contracts. You just like what? You know what I'm saying? Not just this season, but like past season and whatnot. Maybe they want to get off some players. So there's gonna be some sellers. I'm just extremely curious by mid-season who we may try to get.
The backup full position, like he was saying, is the position we need to fix. And that's why I was trying to tell y'all on the last one. I would go after somebody like what's his face from Sacramento. The backup power forward over there was number two. Or Bagley. I would go after Bagley because I don't think it's going to cost you as much. I think the giving him an exemption is going to be like 14 million per year when it comes up. And he's averaged 14 points every year he's been there as a backup center. And with the center position, You got Valanciunas, but he's only played 23 minutes a game. So you really don't know if you're gonna have him at the end of game. And if you have a Bagley, you don't have to rush the situation with Jackson Hayes. So you can presumably have Bagley as your backup power forward. Just think about this second team unit with Jackson Hayes, Marvin Bagley, Trey Murphy, Kyra Lewis, and a Garrett Temple or Josh Hart. That's a nice backup. You see what I'm saying? And it ultimately doesn't rush you with the situation with Zion. Because let's say
I hear
Marvin Bagley.
you want to teach one. I hear you, but you think they're gonna waste the trade exemption
No. But when
and not be
okay,
able to
when I was
trade
talking
for another 2
about with
years to get Marvin Bagley?
no. That's what I was just about to tell you. On the Bagley situation, he could be had for little or nothing. That's the point I was trying to make to y'all. You can get him for little
We
or
got to
nothing.
trade to get him though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
you got to trade, but I'm saying,
the trade
well,
exemption is
wait, I thought it was like
important.
2 of them that they had. There was one for like 17, and then
No,
I
the
thought they had one.
MLE
We
is
got one
only
left.
for free agents.
Okay, so it's just one. All right, but you got to ask yourself. He's averaged 14 points a game ever since he's been there.
But he
Lonzo
don't
just got
do the other stuff. We need defense.
wait,
We gonna
wait,
have
but look at
enough
his
points.
look at his numbers. 14-7.
Right.
And you just look at what Lonzo got. He got 85 million for 1 year at 14 points. Not considering the other years that he's done this all 3. And he can shoot the 3 about 35%. So you're looking at about 14, like we were saying before, about 14 to 17 million is not the same as what it used to be, especially with the money gonna go up next year.
If he's shooting like that.
You see what I'm saying? It's gonna go up next
I
year.
see
So
what you're saying, and I like him, bro. I would actually like to have him on our team, but I'm just saying I can't see them wasting the trade exemption and not being able to
but it's all about
trade a player for 2 years and make that fit under the salary cap on Marvin Bagley.
okay. But let me ask you this question. Okay, let's say the only other person.
So you gonna pass up an opportunity to be able to get a superstar if they ask out.
All right,
to get
right.
Marvin Bagley.
But that's the big thing with all of this. We keep missing it. The big variable is want to. They got to want to come here. We are at a low expense for talent. See what I'm saying?
Marvin
Like we're not.
Daddy and all of them are complaining about him coming off the bench in Sacramento, and they want out of Sacramento.
I think it's more
you think
of
he
them
wants
not
to come
even,
here?
I think it's more of them not even using him correctly, as far as they've had him run in certain ways. I think it's more to that situation with them, because you hear the situation with Buddy Hield. He's not happy. I mean, it's a non-going situation over there in Sacramento. But I'm saying, let's take Bagley out of the situation. Who else is there out there for us to get other than a Buddy Hield? Because he would be the only other one that you can get for that number that you would say, okay, we can convince him to come in and he'll take the money that we're giving him, and we can move forward. But the thing is, he's not going to want to come off the bench, and you're going to ultimately stunt and all. So I don't see another big time player that you can go after to get at that time. You're going to waste. You see what I'm saying? It's, you're wishing for it to happen, and you can't wait for that situation. Is all I'm saying.
We don't know who's going to be open, by mid-season, because there's going to be sellers out there. And one thing I wanted to ask, so how do you think the contract situation will work? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but he's on his last year, or he's on his last team option, or they extended the qualifying offer.
You talking to me, Jalil? Talking about the Bagley?
Yeah, I'm talking about his contract situation. What year is he on? Last year of his team?
They extended it. But no, they didn't extend it to him. From what I heard, they didn't extend it to him.
Okay, so if we were going to trade for him, right?
If I'm not mistaken.
So if we're going to trade for him, right? How would the contract situation go out there? Because if we're just going to have him for 1 year, what would be the point of trading for him? Because if we're gonna trade for him, he has to be like a kind of like a sign and trade kind of thing. Because if I'm gonna
Yeah,
trade for him, I
right.
want him for like cheap, but like for a good amount of time, like 2 or
I think
3
it'll be
years or
four.
so.
I think I'm not sure if they extended. I may be wrong on that. They may have, but I think that they did because I think it'll be like 14 million that he can get per year because he was the number 2 overall pick. So he'll be guaranteed like 14 million per year. I think that's it, like
Yeah,
something
so
like
yeah,
that.
for 2 years, and then he's
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
but
restricted free agent
in
after
my
that.
opinion, he is not worth that at all. And I
for
get
two
what you're
years.
saying because you said the
No,
same thing
not.
about like marketing. You pay for the potential, but
I think I was
eh,
saying more of 3, like 3 to 4, getting him at that number, not for 1 to 2 years. That's no, I'm not saying that. Like if I can get him for 14 per at like for 4 years, like what marketing just went for. If I can get at least a little bit under that, maybe about 4. I think what Dallas wanted to offer marketing, I think they wanted to offer him at first like 4 years for it was originally 33, but they were gonna have to make a trade to make it 44. Somewhere about that ballpark range. If you
but
can
then
get
we
him for
fall into
that,
a log jam when we gotta re-sign Null and we gotta re-sign Jax and we gotta re-sign Zion. We fall
Right.
into a
thought about
log
that.
jam at that point.
What you mean? But his position won't matter about what goes on with Nah and all of them.
He a good player though for what you're saying because he's a guy I could see that play power forward or center, and he
It
could
won't rush
potentially
you with
play with Jackson Hayes, Herman
yeah.
Gomez, or even if we held on to Valanciunas and got him too, he's a guy that could play with them. So
Like you won't have to trip. And another big thing for me saying yeah,
and he could shoot the
you won't,
three ball too.
yeah, you won't have to trip with Zion. Let's say he fills out his potential and he becomes a 20 and 10 guy because he averaging 14 and 7. Let's just say he becomes a 20 and 10 guy. And we don't, I'm not gonna get into the whole what Zion gonna do, but let's just say that's a nice problem to have to fall back on. You know what I mean? But okay, if you want to do whatever, okay, we're gonna get a haul for you. I got another great player in your position, ready to step up. And it makes me sleep better at night. That's another part to it with me. You see what I'm saying? It's not only just the talent part there. You want to get the most talent on your roster. But with Zion and his whole situation, you don't know because these kids today are very fickle. They are more so about the now than
You're
ever.
right, King Buckets.
So that's just me. That's my way of thinking on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You think all of them are fickle though? I don't think
No,
all
I
of
mean
them
not
are
all of it,
the
but I
same.
think it's more of like with the young kids. It's you got to be winning to and what us has got to be more winning in spite of like to start to get them to come here. Once we start winning, I'm more than sure they'll come. But right now we got to do that and doing the little things right, and that's what we haven't been able to do, the little things right, which is why we went backwards when we traded for Steven Adams. That's we're not thinking smart. So
Yeah,
I'm just looking for more building toward the future and the young stock of talent we would have to go with that. I think it would be
Yeah,
good. But I don't know
yeah,
nobody else that we could get. I guess that
what if they try
yeah,
to trade for Marvin Bagley and Buddy
I was,
Hield?
buddy, yeah, I'm about to think about it. That's what I was thinking at
That
first.
would make sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about at first. DC. That's the trade I was thinking about at first initially. But I was like, you still gotta pay. No, and you're gonna have to pay
But
Jackson Hayes.
you getting rid of you get rid of Sadaransky, you get rid of Josh Hart. That's like $23 million right there. And then
True.
for whatever reason, let's say they throw Valanciunas in, I think that
Mm,
opens up the gate to be
yeah,
able to do that
yeah.
and still have enough money to handle what you got to handle that next season because whatever you got to do with Zion's extension, that ain't gonna tie it up. So I think you could
That's a
go
good.
that route. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
That
know if
makes
I
a lot
want to
more
give
sense
up
than just
Valanciunas though. Valanciunas is the keeper. Like
well,
for
I
this
mean, we
team
got to
with this
find
team,
somebody else for the money because Buddy Hill is what that'd be like 20. You got him at 11, going to 14.
I think Buddy
We're
Hill,
talking
but
about
he's
30
about
something
3 more
million.
seasons, right?
We would need to clear up money wise.
Yeah,
So Valanciunas money wise would have to
with
be a
the
part of it because you got Josh Hart at 11, no at 12, and then you got Saturansky at 10. What you gonna give him Garrett Temple for the 5 million? I
I
guess
might,
that could
yeah,
work.
yeah. I'll try
But
that.
how you gonna extend Valanciunas? So you letting Valanciunas walk after this year, and then you gonna go with Jackson Hayes and Herman Gomez as your backup centers, and
I don't know.
let Bagley kind of play small ball center or something.
Nah, I'm
Well,
not a
I'll
big
I'll
fan.
say this much. I love the way we played it because now it's like a wait and see approach. So we have these opportunities instead of just rushing crap. You know what I'm saying? Then
Right.
signing somebody and then like finding out like this signing wasn't worth it. So this wait and see approach, you know what I'm saying? I rock with it.
I think it more so fell in their lap. Not that they played it that way, it just fell in their lap like that. I think David Griffin was trying to jack it off as best as he could. And for some reason it happened in the favor of our luck. And we got it this way. And I think that's what ultimately is gonna happen for us. I think it's gonna work in our favor. But I'm trying to find out like with the rest of y'all. I know we don't know, but if you look at around the league, most of these guys are with the franchises they feel they're gonna be with for a while. And I don't know many that we can go after that, you know.
I mean that changes day by day, and you still got guys who haven't even played. You don't know how good they are, which will make a team be willing to move on from a guy with a big name because somebody they just drafted, they're like, oh, I can replace him for
True.
cheaper. There's all type of scenarios. You know what I'm saying? A team that's supposed to be good happens every year. A team that they're anticipating on being good gonna play like trash, and guys could be wanting to get up off their team. There's always different scenarios, man, that happen. So you really you don't know. But I like Jalil was saying, I think it's dope that the Pelicans put themselves in position to be able to pounce on a situation if it reveals itself. If they don't, then I still think with everything we got in house, I think we can make everything work. It's just we would
Yeah.
need someone to step up at that backup forward position, or it's gonna be a guy that we didn't think could play power forward that well, Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
that are actually better than we thought at that position. And it's gonna tie into like versatility because I think it's something what DJ was asking earlier that it might go by the matchups. Like if they can get away with maybe BI playing a little power forward with the backup unit, whatever. Like I don't want to see that, but I mean it is an option. We've seen it done before. You know what I'm saying? So they have so many different directions they go through. I think once they get in training camp, they're gonna see things and do different stuff and it work. Or you can have a lineup with like Josh Hart and Najee Marshall out there, and you like, who the hell is the power forward? You know what I'm saying? You got Josh Hart mixing in that power forward and Najee Marshall. They flip flopping based on who substitutes in or out. So I think the Pelicans are trying to pride themselves on being able to be just like this version of what Big Q calls David Griffin, the octopus. You know what I'm saying? Just having arms all over the place and being able to kind of be multifaceted. Like it don't really matter who out there. The system we run and the way we're playing as a unit defensively will make up for any shortcomings of what we have out there. We just want to get good basketball players on the court. All we could be, very well like underplaying Wenyen Gabriel. Maybe Wenyen Gabriel got a lot better, and we just
Yeah, he
don't
can
know,
play.
and they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
can play now.
it's gonna be interesting to see how Jackson progresses because I think that's gonna be the determining factor if we trade Jonas Valanciunas or not. If Jax can show that he has the potential, if he can showcase his potential to be like consistent, I think we trade JV sooner rather than later.
For
Or
who though?
your guess is as good as mine. We don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't like Valanciunas. I just right now with this team, I don't want him to go nowhere until I see him out there on the floor. Like I think right now, Valanciunas might be the third best player on this team.
There's a lot of rumors about him getting traded, though, man. As much as I
Yeah.
would
Oh
like it
well,
too.
I think that's just more of when they look at the contract. But when you look at him and how he plays for a big and what this team needs, and how he's even able to space the floor
Yeah.
better than what we had. No, I'm not. No. He gonna get his bread. He gonna get his bread. It's just figuring out the rest. Like I said, the bench, because I think you nailed the start lineup. I think Graham with Naw and Brandon Ingram and Zion and Valanciunas. I think they're gonna prove to be one of the best starting fives out there
I
because
mean,
they go together. When you look at them overall and what they do, they go together. Like it's not about sometimes the big name; it's about the fit. That's what made the Spurs so great. That's what made the Pistons so great. Rip went with Chauncey along with Rasheed coming off them screens
I agree.
and Rasheed able to pop out. So I don't think that we need to just off any one of them. I think we need to see him first. I think Straight Jacket Jones, he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think when he get his chance, just like you said, DC, if he could just shoot that three a little bit to keep that defense on, just to have a little something. But I think just his defense alone, it's gonna make people just look at it. It's funny when I look at him, and I know I may be old and showing my age, but he remind me a lot of when Dennis came out and he was playing with the Bad Boy Pistons when they was playing
Damn,
the Lakers.
really? I don't know. I thought
That
Tayshaun Prince more. Like,
no, I mean go look when you look at the Dennis when he was playing with the Pistons, the old how he was lanky just like Straight Jacket. He wasn't like you could catch him on a break and he'll try to dunk it on you. He was versatile with his length and his size, and he just remember they
right.
used Dennis to play against Magic because they couldn't match up with Magic with Isaiah
Right.
and Joe D. So they used him.
He was
I
better
think,
offensively than people gave him credit for too, as far
oh
as
yeah,
rim running and stuff.
yeah. I think Straight Jacket gonna come and be our version of a Draymond with a little bit of Dennis. Like he plays angry. That's
That's
a good
big
thing.
expectations. Each one. That's very
Yeah,
big
but I
expectations.
think he knows his game. I think that's the best part about him. He knows what he does well. He don't try to do nothing else other than that. And we need guys that
As
know that. You know,
as far as
know that.
straight
We need to
jacket,
start without the ball and without scoring. He said, "Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely."
I would say with straight jacket Jones, he just needs to play within himself. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say 3 point. He need to improve his 3 pointer. Of course he does, but
Nah,
you
he
know, he
shoot
just
a
need to play. He just
decent
need to
ball.
play it within himself, man. Just have a competent offensive game. You know what I'm saying? Be
correct.
able to hit a little bit of a mid range. You know what I'm saying? You have an open shot, take it. You know what I'm saying? Be able to drive to the lane. You know what I'm saying? Get some contact going. Get a layup going. Foul trouble. Who knows? Things, simple things.
He displayed it though. He has shown you the ability to put the ball on the floor, to shoot it, to do things that you wouldn't expect him to be able to do. He's shown the ability to do it. Now, can he get consistent with doing it? That's the thing. And I think it's gonna come with time with him once he get to working with Fred, the shooting wizard. And once he get to working with the shooting doctor, I think things will become a lot better for him and he does all the other things well. Move without the ball, you know. He understands how to play. That's another thing I was going to talk about with Saturansky. People are underselling him. He
Mhm.
knows how to play the game, bro. He knows how to play the game. He knows what people are supposed to be. He just knows how to play. And I think the way that this team, like I said, is presently constructed if you look at Kyra and Kyra is off a night, and you say, okay, well, look, youngster, we're gonna either sit you, let you watch for a little bit, or send you to the G League. Stato comes in and he's in the backcourt with a Josh Hart. Man, that's gonna make it hard on a lot of defenses on the backcourt because the one thing they both do, they play hard. Both of them, they play hard. And so, and Josh Hart, another thing people undersell about him is he's smart. He comes from a smart program in Villanova. So you get a Saturansky, a Josh Hart, and then a straight Jacket Jones out there with a Jackson Hayes. You got four guys that's gonna get after it defensively. And then you still got Trey Murphy out there. You got 5 guys can get into you and make it rough for you. So, like DC said, man, we're very versatile. And the thing that makes it real good, it's a good problem to have. And I like that they are all pieces that fit together. The one thing the Pelicans did not have is defense last year. We could score it with anybody. We just couldn't stop no damn body. And with getting rid of the players that we got, we added them in the places that were just solely defensively where we needed them to be good, not only well as defensively, but offensively. And I think you got that with Valanciunas and Grant. Because I don't think you're going to lose much if people try to sell him as not being good defensively. I think Graham is capable, and I think Valanciunas is capable.
Now, Big Q and DC, did I or did I not say Satoransky is being very underrated right now?
Yeah, you said that a while back. I remember that.
Nah, I said that last stream y'all had. Don't do me like that, DC.
Yeah, they be forgetting on you now.
I remember maybe that wasn't you. I remember somebody saying that when I first was messing his name up and stuff. People, I was thinking that was you in the chat, or somebody in the chat was saying that too. That he was underrated. That guy's a good basketball player. I'm telling you, you should look into him, and I did. And what I saw was a guy that I mean, this was when the trade happened. I ain't know much about him. I heard his name before with the Bulls, but I saw a guy that don't make a lot of mistakes. He made the right basketball play. He had a decent shot. Very good at facilitating. You know what I'm saying? And defensively, he was in the right places. Not very athletic. He got like a smooth game to him, man. But he just seems to do the right stuff and make the correct play. So he's the guy you can trust to not mess up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a lot. Like when you're on a young team. So as much as I would like Kyra, to be that guy, man. If Kyra isn't able to connect the dots right now, I think Satoransky, similar to Jackson Hayes and what we got going on with Jonas Valanciunas, is a great piece to have to go ahead and like, okay, Kyra, like you need to cook a little longer, you know what I mean, in the pot. Throw you in the G League or let you watch, and you can put this guy out there, and you ain't gonna miss a beat. You're gonna have a very good backup point guard. Now, who could possibly be a starter if somebody gets hurt? He would be an okay starter. You know what I mean? So this guy, he's probably going to get minutes if unless Kyra is blowing him away in training camp. Satoransky might be the backup point guard. Unless Kyra is doing like what Zion and everybody was saying he was doing, like they just wowing people in training camp and in practice. Then I mean, you're gonna have to let him be the backup point guard and have Satoransky there in case he get hurt.
As I was saying before, Graham was, of course, the better playmaker and the person you want out there to like space the floor. But Satoransky is the more floor general type of player. He's gonna set things up. He's gonna set up Zion, set up Bi, be in the right spot on defense. Oh, I don't know.
Sound like it.
Yeah. Mute your mic, whoever that is, typing or keep on hitting something. That's you, DJ?
Sound like DJ that fell asleep on.
DJ fell asleep on.
No,
you know it's past his bedtime, you go to sleep.
Well, that's true
that
love right there, man.
DJ
come on the panel, bro, and stay on here till he fall asleep, bro. That's love.
Look, that was DJ hit the mute button because he said, hit the mute button after But listen, Jaleel, I'm gonna ask y'all this. When you look at Satoransky, bro, I was peeping this out. And sometimes when people look at a certain way they think defense is supposed to be, they think it's supposed to be like almost ran on like a name basis, like how we was talking about Devontae Graham. I'm gonna give you an example. And people undersell him so much. And we were just trying to get people to understand that he's going to be in the right places. He might not be a good one-on-one defender, but for help in playing the passing lane, that's what this defense is going to be. They're going to get out in the passing lane. They're going to be able to help weak side. They're going to be a lot more quicker and agile than they displayed. And I think when you look at a Satoransky, he reminds me And I'm not saying his game is. I'm saying the winning plays that he does. He reminds me a lot of Ginobili. When Ginobili came, it was just he did the little things that helped them win. And if you look at this team and how we lost games last year, it was because we couldn't do the little things right. Communication, simple stuff. Like Eric Bledsoe falling asleep and then Lonzo committing on a three. You don't know you down. You know what I'm saying? Simple stuff like that. That means a lot in big time games. And I think that's the right blend that this team had at the positions that it needs. You know, you got your superstars in BI and Zion. But I like what Jaleel said, and that was, I think, the biggest point of the night so far to me, because I feel that same way. This team is going to go as far as Nah. He's going to have, if Nah comes out, and I think he does what he was starting to do the year before. When you go and look back at that film when he was in New York, and Reggie Miller was calling them games, and Reggie Miller don't get too high on a lot of people now. Reggie Miller was like, this dude can get it done. Nah he's a superstar, bro. He is. He just is. He works hard, bro. And he has the talent on both sides. I think when you get him with Zion BI and then you got Valanciunas, and you got to understand, you can't double off nobody anymore. So all this is target practice for Devontae Graham. It's just like you in the gym. You just standing out there just shooting. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't do that, then I'm sorry, you're not an NBA player, because this is the best team you done played on. So like I said, I think they all fit. I think they all go together with each other and giving each other the time to develop. I think Jackson Hayes can be there. I think he's going to need about another year just to get it. I think the way his offensive game, he's coming with his offensive game. It's coming. But I think he's just about a year or two away. And I think about another contract for Valanciunas will give him the time. And then you could, let Valanciunas either walk or whatever, you're going to do with him. But I think Nas going to be the key. I'm with you on that, Jaleel. I think Nas going to be the key. Because he coming out in them games where you're going to need somebody else to step up other than Zion and BI. He has shown that. Go look at the tapes now, y'all. Go look at the end of them games last year. Who was out there with Zion and BI and was hitting them big shots? That was Nah. Nah was knocking them motherfuckers down. So I'm with you, Jaleel. I'm with you, brother.
I think it's a world where Valanciunas and Jackson Hayes can work together, man. I don't know if people realizing how versatile Jackson Hayes has the potential to be, man. Like, you got a dude, we know he can run, right? We know he can dunk all on people. He's showing that he has a shot. Ben knew he had a little 15, 16 footer. He's showing he can stretch it out to the 3-point line. You also seeing him handle the ball. You know what I mean? The dude is showing you that he's more than just somebody that runs and dunks. So if he got all of those type of capabilities, you could have a situation like I keep telling people where Jackson Hayes can also be a power forward. You know what I'm saying? Or a center. You know what I'm saying? So there's a world where you could keep him and Jonas Valanciunas, and you can have something going like similar to what Milwaukee does with Brook Lopez, and then they got Bobby Portis over there, and PJ Tucker, how they was mixing all of that in. Well, we could get something done with two guys instead of three. Similar type thing though. But this all depends on Jonas Valanciunas really taking more threes and showing the, I guess, confidence in his shot to shoot it in that way. If he could start launching them threes, and then you got Jackson Hayes that's able to hit some too, man, I'm talking about you got something dangerous, bro. Especially when you start mixing up the bench unit. They switching who gonna start at center based on matchups and different things like that. You could keep them here, and you could find a way to pay all of those guys if you're happy with everything you got in house. You can pay Zion, you can pay NAW, you can pay Jonas Valanciunas, you can BI already locked up. Josh Hart, might be a casualty. You got Satoransky, Temple, and all these guys down the line, man. So thought it was interesting that you brought that up, what they're doing Valanciunas. But I really think the reason they haven't paid him because they want to see how it's going to work out. And I don't think they want to overpay him and I don't think he won't underpay himself. So they probably went at him with something, and he might have shot it down, willing to bet on himself because he knows what he's capable of.
You
And I
talking
think
about Jackson Hayes or you talking about
I'm talking about
Valanciunas?
Valanciunas. Jackson
Oh,
Hayes, I think we're gonna be able to lock up for not something crazy. I mean, we got to pay him close to his rookie deal, but I don't think we have to lock him up nothing crazy. You know what I
I
mean?
don't think they offer Valanciunas just off of the GP of what happened with Steven Adams, and I think that's why they planned it like that because they
Well,
knew.
Valanciunas in a different situation though. Like you got to look at the year this man had last year, and what he's been doing over there in Memphis, bro. He commands more money, honestly, than what we gave Steven Adams. If you're being realistic, so he might be looking at it like whatever they did try to offer him. If they went at him with maybe a Devontae Graham type contract, tried to extend him out for 3 more years at kind of what he getting or something close to that. Maybe he want a few $1 million more a year, and he feel like he worth it, and he gonna show it on the court. So it could be something like that because you don't usually trade a player then keep them for this long and then retrade them. You know what I mean? Like I think they have intentions on keeping Jonas Valanciunas, but
You mean in Memphis? You saying?
no, I'm talking about with the Pelicans. Like we traded him and we got him. They got other teams that want him. Like if we wanted somebody to go after, we could have just got rid of him and got somebody else if that's what we was gonna do. I think, like you said, us not wanting to make the Steven Adams mistake, we wasn't willing to give him Steven Adams money, and that's probably what he wants. That's 17 million a year or whatever instead of 14. We might have tried to extend him around what he making. 14 or maybe give him another couple of years at a similar price, and he was like, no.
What I heard,
but then again, we got to see how he plays, and on top of that, those 3-pointers. I'm looking at slow this damn releases. I'm like,
yeah, it's slow. It's slow.
We gotta see about that. But
hey, but listen, what you're not looking at is
Lopez release fast. Like he gonna be wide open. He don't need no fast.
But look who's going to be playing with Zion and Bi. Defenders, you got to pick your poison. So when you go to release that, get that slow release, they're either going to commit to Zion or Bi or whoever have the ball, and he's going to be able to get it off. My thing is, from what I've heard, they said that he told the Pelicans he wants to sign an extension with them.
I heard that too.
You heard that too? So yeah, I think they could ultimately get a deal done with him. I don't think it's going to be some crazy number, but I do think what you just said, DC, is right. I think if we lock him up for what he should get paid, hopefully what we give him, I think it's going to be a lot cheaper than what people may realize. Because that dude is real good, man. Valanciunas is skilled, and he could. I'm telling you, he could help us more than people think.
Pull that slow wind up, Q. Show the family one of them 3-point shots.
Oh yeah, it's a slow one too. I have to see if I can find a highlight on it.
But my thing is, I don't care about him making a whole gang of 3-pointers. I just want him to make enough to where they respect him. That's what you want. You want him to respect him taking that shot.
Fake.
God damn, that was slow.
Scramble mode.
That was
So
slow. His pump fake.
Legit, the only thing I would want from JV is, for one, have a competent offensive game, bro. Coming off of Steven Adams, this man couldn't do a goddamn thing. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. This dude could be right under the bucket and pull a Ben Simmons. And like, nope, I don't want it. I'm like, bro.
Steven Adams, Valanciunas is skilled, my brother. He can do work. He can do work. You just like I'm saying, a lot of people don't realize this. When you put another good player with things gonna be a lot easier for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like Devontae Graham, people don't understand how much his game is gonna be a whole lot better playing with a Zion and a Bi. You just standing out there. I mean, pick your poison, and that's why I say I like the way the team is constructed, because I think ultimately they went out there fat mouthing with the Kyle Lowry situation, but you fell into the Devontae Graham situation, and I think that might be the best thing that could happen to you. Because when you look at his game, it fits. When it goes with it just fits.
Do you think maybe a little bit of our fat mouthing each one teach one? Because you know you got a lot of insight, bro. Just
Mhm.
flip the tables tonight. Do
Mhm.
you think that maybe some of our fat mouthing or them doing that was god damn that shot was funny. That some of that was due to us maybe trying to throw people off the trail, and that maybe we wanted Devontae Graham the whole time.
Nah, we ain't want that smart.
Nah.
You giving David Griffin
Can't
too
give
much
him
credit.
that much. I ain't giving
Yeah.
David Griffin all
No,
that
no,
credit.
I feel
I
you what
think
he
we
was
got a
asking,
lot of
but
smart people in our organization
nah,
outside of
'cause
him. David Griffin ain't the end all be all to everything.
when
I think Trajan Langdon is actually a pretty intelligent guy.
me too, but
Honestly,
they don't let him pull the trigger on that. See, David
when you're
Griffin
looking
is
at
the
what we
wizard.
got now, I think this is a product
Yeah,
of letting Trajan
but
Langdon
that's
pull
the
the
deal.
trigger.
That's Trajan Langdon is the one doing the drafting. David Griffin is the one handling the trade.
Ah,
That's how that
I
situation
don't
is.
know about. I think the trades seem to be his calling card, but
That's what
free
I'm saying. I said
agents and
David
stuff like
Griffin, that's
that.
his deal.
Yeah,
David Griffin is doing the trade, and Trajan
right.
Langdon is doing the draft, and that's what I said.
But Devontae
And
Graham was a free agent though, so I think that acquisition or getting that type of player, he fits the mold of like a Spencer Dinwiddie. It just to me seems like a Trajan Langdon-ish type thing to do.
oh yeah, listen, DC, I'm gonna say this. I don't think that they didn't go to him. I'm sure David Griffin goes to him about these guys, but it just goes back to what I was saying about him. David Griffin will be winning the trade. He just will add something, do something stupid to jack it off. Yeah,
Well, we would have been
you know
so
what I'm
much
saying?
better with George Hill. We just leave it alone and just give us George Hill. That'd have worked
You
out
see
so
what I'm
much
saying?
better.
We could have took any
Even
one of
even
them
even
dudes.
if we kept Brandon, well, not Brandon, Eric Gordon. No, I can't even remember his name. I'm so glad he gone. Eric Bledsoe, messing his
Mm,
name all up. He don't even get no respect. I couldn't even get his
Man, look
damn
here.
name.
Just call him number 5, bro.
I don't
number
even remember.
five.
I couldn't remember his damn number. The dude that said he forgot. He wasn't paying attention during the timeout. That guy.
Yeah,
So
that's him.
yeah, him. That's what I'm gonna forever remember him for.
Yeah, right.
We would have been better off if we would have just kept him and George Hill, man, because we could have eventually just put his ass on the bench and just played George Hill.
Yeah, but
True.
they ain't want Bledsoe. They wanted Hill in the
Yeah,
deal,
they wanted him.
and Hill's
But they
contract
wanted
was about
Hill for Steven Adams. Leave Steven Adams ass where he at. You
True.
hear me?
yeah.
True.
We could have just
True.
went with Willie Herman Gomez
Yep.
as our starting
Yep.
center.
And got the deal
And we would
done.
have been better off and probably signed
But
another free agent
I'm gonna
somewhere
say this
along the line
I'm gonna say this
with
to
the
the
rest of that
credit of
money.
that, DC. What people forgetting now, let's all remember this now, because we must not forget this. The last 2 years before, we were one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. That was ultimately the reason in going get Steven Adams. And when he got here, he helped propel us to
He did.
the top rebound. We cannot forget
I
that.
didn't dislike Steven Adams though. I don't think
True. No,
Steven
I
Adams
didn't
was
either,
that
but he
bad.
just didn't fit.
I just think the starting lineup that we decided to run along with him, it just wasn't a good look all
No.
the way
But
over the board, man. Steven Adams had his faults, but that dude did a lot of the little dirty work similar
yeah,
to
he did.
Josh Hart, man. He made a lot of winning plays. I
Yes, he
seen him
did.
playing very good defense at times until you had to brought him out on the perimeter and stuff, he would get cooked. But when he was
Yep.
allowed to be in his element in the paint, man, that dude defended well. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I can't just say like he was trash. It just messed the whole trade up, bro. We sent an extra pick over there for that. We
Yeah,
did
that was
all of
too
that.
much.
We signed him, and there's more money. All of those aspects of things I'm looking at. All of that, and with us with just like hoping Jackson Hayes develops and signed in another maybe center or some free agent or maybe trading for a lesser guy than Steven Adams. I think any of those things would have worked out better. Even with the dead weight or the anchor known as Eric Bledsoe, I still think it would have worked out better because it would have wound up being a better fit. Because we saw Jackson Hayes at times. Steven Adams was said, man, he's gonna take my job. He's
Mm.
Jackson Hayes should be starting. He was
Mm.
joking, but he was serious at the same time.
Yeah,
Because
he was.
when Jackson Hayes was out there, we looked like a better team
He
overall.
did. Yep.
You
Yeah,
know what
we
I mean?
sure
But,
enough
but
did. The
Van Gundy
switchability.
just the mistakes he make, it
All
was
he
too
is.
much. He can't. He got to be perfect. You know what I mean? So
No, like you said, the first DC, and you hit it right on the nose about some of these coaches. They just want their guys in there. and he wanted Bledsoe and Adams in there, and that's what cost him his job. Plain and simple. You stayed with them too long, and you should have been starting Nog and Jackson Hayes because they're the future. They were, and it ultimately got you fired because that's what some of them do. They come in with their old school ways and they try to implement with these new kids, and these kids ain't having it. It's just a different day and time. You have to be able to communicate with them very well, and that's what Willie Green does, like you say. And that's the thing you hit DC, and you got to give you flowers on that.
Appreciate you, brother.
Willie Green is gonna come in here, and it's all gonna be about your practicing habits, and it's gonna be about also, how well you play, and then you're gonna get those minutes. You have to really not only earn them, but you're gonna have to keep your play up to, stay on the court. It's not gonna be about what you did before, because hey, we got other guys here that's chopping at the bit to get in this game. So, I think with the guys we got right now, I think we stand about the 6th seed. I think we need one more move. And like y'all said, I like the fact that we still holding that trigger to pull it at some point in time, because we're gonna have to at some point. But when we do, is it gonna be on our own accord? Because if we do, then that's gonna ultimately pull us over a hump to being just a regular good team to now a real threat. It's like I was wishing we could have got somebody like a Meritage. If he, I know he gone, but somebody like that at that backup focus. You see what Meritage did for AD when he came over here. The whole game opened up. We played a lot better.
We got them each one teach one. We got Trey Murphy. That is.
Yeah, that's true. That's
that
true.
is Meritage.
That is in a way, yeah.
Better
I
version, honestly.
I think with him, people gonna start almost calling for him to get another starting lineup at some point in time, because he's just
gonna
that
have
good,
to be, bro. Like,
just
a
good.
starting lineup with Devontae Adams, Bi, Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Or if you want to take Devontae Adams, I'm not
Graham.
Devontae Graham. I don't know why we was talking about Steven Adams. You want to take NAW and put him out there. NAW, Bi, Trey Murphy, Zion Valanciunas. What?
That's a lineup, brother. That's a lineup because you can get it up.
That's crazy, dude.
Everybody can handle that ball.
Devontae Graham is just 6 man, and all he got to do is go with the second unit, and he could just get buckets on buckets when they get tired.
Mm-hmm.
What? Man, that's crazy.
And then look at the other off guards you can have next to him. You can go Najee. You can go Hart. You can go Saturansky.
You can go Najee and Hart.
Najee and Hart. It's so good of diversity we have with this team, and they all can do a lot of things. That's the good thing about how this team is made. They do have a real good foundation. When you look at the players we drafted for what we have a hell of a foundation, brother. I will say that. And if you could just look at the Herb Jones pick in itself, that pick right there solidified to me their thought process and how they see this team going forward. Smart. They want guys who are great value guys who can do multi.
Don't say great value around.
Yeah, I had to put that in there. I had to put that in there because you said it earlier.
Those goddamn great value canned goods.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get them started, bro.
Organically, the organic kind.
The organic one. Wait, great value got organic nut?
Must not forget the organic kind. You cannot forget that. Yes, sir. We got we ready, bro. I think we're gonna be ready, and I think we're gonna jump out there. I think if we jump out there on them boards, and a lot of people down. Hey, let's just call it what it is. A lot of people got a lot of wounded dogs out there. I'm talking about real team. There are a lot of wounded dogs out there. If you could just jump on them from the start of this season and come out swinging, I'm telling you, this whole thing is gonna turn. We're gonna become the worst talked about to the most talked about. Because of how this team
gonna give us the most talked about that. We got to work for that title.
DC, listen, I'm telling you, when you look at how this team is built and you look at the players and how they go together, I didn't know if he could do it, but the thing is that damn Trajan Langdon, he can draft, brother. He can
Yes, he
draft,
can. Yes, he
and,
can.
and they go together,
Yep.
man. They go together, and when you look at that, this is what we needed. See, we couldn't just use free agency as a tool to help us. We had to be creative in how we did it. We had to build through the draft. And now this is how we gonna get all them guys to come over here. Because now they're gonna look and they're gonna say, you know what? I think I do want to go play down there, because they do look like they know what they're doing.
I think I like
And
the homegrown aspect more though, because that seems to be more sustainable for a long term
you mean
success.
them North Carolina boys. That's what you talking about.
I
Them
like
North
that, man.
Carolina boys.
I like that, man. And
Yeah.
we look at I'm saying I don't think they're gonna give us our flowers that quick because you look at a team like Milwaukee, bro. Them people with 60 wins, 61 wins, doing all this, and they still was like they would just wait for them to do something bad, and that's what they were
Well,
talking about.
Giannis ain't the guy.
They
That's
talk
just what
about
that
the
is.
one thing that they do bad, and they keep harping on it. Oh, Giannis got put out the but he put him out the
Yeah,
playoffs.
They,
Blah, blah.
they don't.
You hear that
He's
all
not the
day.
guy.
They
He's
win
not
the
their guy.
championship. They win the championship, bro. The dude plays in phenomenal fashion. They talk about him for a week and then move the hell on to LeBron and the rest of them.
He's
It's
not their guy.
crazy, bro. It's
He's
crazy.
not. He's not their guy. He's not their guy. He's not who they want. Listen, we know what KD and LeBron represent. We know what they displayed when they was out there. And you look at what Giannis did when KD almost took them down by his damn self. Let's just be real. If it wasn't for the damn man size 11 and a half, excuse me, size 20 and a half shoot, we would have been talking a whole different situation.
But man, if you
So
want to do almost, I mean, you could take
I get,
LeBron's
but
whole
I'm just
legacy
saying,
away from him because if
true,
Draymond Green wouldn't have got ejected, and if
true,
Ray Allen wouldn't have hit the three, and you could
true,
do that for
true.
a lot of other greats, man. We can't
We
play the
could, we
almost
could,
game, bro.
we could.
It's a fine line between losing and winning, and they won, bro.
Well, let
Got
me
to give
say
them their
this though.
props, man.
Drew, and they won it. Now, with that being said, if we looking at a healthy uh, NBA playoff, do you even consider Milwaukee a threat to the Bucks? I mean, to the Nets.
Hell yeah! You know
I
why?
don't see it.
You know why I consider them a threat? The only thing that could make them not be a threat is injuries. Every team that you see win a championship, this ain't football, man. Like where you win a championship and then the next year you can almost count on them flaking out or not working out. This is basketball, bro.
Mhm.
Every team that wins a championship, especially in basketball, bro, them dudes, it like it builds confidence. Football is a confidence game, but basketball is more of a confidence game. So almost all the time you see them get better unless the team was broken up. That's when it becomes a problem. Like you saw Toronto when they won. You know, we don't have a lot of examples because we had the same damn teams winning all the time. But you saw Toronto when they won, and Kawhi left. So that would be an
Pretty much
example of
the
them
same thing almost in a
breaking
sense.
up.
So,
Right. And then you have other teams like I remember when the Dallas won, they had all old guys. They had to kind of reshape their roster. But when you have teams that typically win, you can look at the Spurs when they won, and a lot of people wasn't expecting, they built a dynasty out of that, which could be a good example for Milwaukee. Not saying they'll be a dynasty, but Milwaukee is a goddamn contender, and these people are not going to be worse than they was last year.
no,
After putting that together, Drew Holiday didn't had just got over there. You know, he didn't been there for a year. He didn't got the taste of championship. You got Middleton got the taste of all that, and you see him excelling. Them people gonna get better, man. It ain't like they gonna get worse. Then we don't know what their draft picks will turn out and be. You know what I'm saying? They might have found somebody else. They built their whole team damn near through the draft. So we can't say they draft bad. I don't see any way on any goddamn planet where Milwaukee is all of a sudden going to be worse and they shouldn't be considered contenders. I think it's
I'm
disrespectful
saying
that
to the
people think that they couldn't contend against the Nets. Will they beat them? I don't know. Maybe not. But can't say they won't be contenders.
well, when you look at, like I said, how
Go
they
ahead, make your closing point too, bro. We about to get ready to close the show out. DJ done fell asleep.
no, let
And
DJ go.
I don't want to fall asleep on the mic like DJ.
Each one said, "Let DJ go." Let him go.
So you go ahead and comment on what I got to say each one, and then go ahead and make your closing remarks. We're gonna try to wake DJ up, and let Jaleel make his remarks. And we're gonna get up out of here, man.
Yeah, they could definitely draft. They are going to be around. They're gonna be a damn good team because
Oh
they
Lord, James, they came in the chat. God damn.
Y'all know how to do it, boy. Y'all know how to do it. Y'all know how to do it. Y'all know how to bring out the evil spirit. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of the blood and Lord of Jesus. You got to rebuke that demon on a Sunday morning. Rebuke him, Lord.
Oh, come on, man.
So,
Come on,
brother
preacher.
James.
You can't be
Go ahead.
condemning people like that, preacher.
I'm gonna go ahead on. And call this on the pool. Oh, brother James. But listen, man. Yes, Milwaukee, they're gonna be around. I see them being, a good team. I just think Brooklyn, what they got, and then you look at what they added during the off season. I just don't. I looked at how they played them this year, and the start of the first two games, they were petrified. And remember they was pouching on Giannis with the whole you're giving KD too much props, and you acting like you scared of him. It was just one of them things where to me it was almost like an like the bubble situation, and I don't know. It like I said, they could come out there and be whatever. To me they almost look like the way I see it. They may be better, but I just see them like a team that challenges good, may challenge, but not a real threat. I don't see them I just don't see them as a real threat to them because just Brooklyn has so much, and they're not just top heavy no more. They got the average players were superstar players. But regardless, too, we went all the way to the East Coast. We bring back to the South, like Big Q never say. With us, I think we're going to make a lot of big teams uncomfortable when they play us. I think we're gonna show a lot of teams that you really need to be afraid of what the Pelicans are doing. Because when you look at us and you play us this year, you're not going to just be able to beat us the way you used to beat us, meaning mentally instead of, all the way around. Now you're gonna have to beat us, being not just seasoned, but you're gonna have to be a better basketball team. And I think the Pelicans are going to be a better basketball team with the value of players that we have. I think every player that we have go with this team. And I think if we just make that other one move when it's ready, we're gonna show 'em. That's all I got to say.
Well said, each one.
What you got, Jaleel? Oh, wait, hold up. What DJ? DJ. Call in DJ.
DJ close it out.
DJ.
He'll close it out. Let Jaleel go because I know state
DJ gone, bro. He done already closed it up.
he gone already. He exited the building. Go ahead, brother Jaleel.
All right, Jaleel.
Bruh, everything was pretty much said already, man. We got the team, we got the talent. It's just nobody would bring this up but the flock. And I'm glad I rock with y'all.
Same here, bro.
I gotta watch my language because I'm deacon up in there. You feel me? So I think one thing people are not talking about is, for one, we have the coaching consultant Mike D'Antoni to help out with the offensive flow. We got Jaron goddamn Collins to help us out with the defensive scheme, along with Willie Green, who ran Phoenix's defense. Dog, we got everything we need. We got everything we need to succeed, man.
Yes,
and as
Lord.
each one was saying, when the right move presents itself, we make that move, dog. And I promise you, bro, within this year, next year, and maybe even one more year, bro, we right there.
Like the church say, amen.
Amen.
Amen on that, bro. Amen.
I'm
All
glad.
right. Well said, both the brothers, man. Much love to both y'all, man. Spot on. And like Slim said, the Pels are coming, man.
Oh, yeah.
Pels are coming. All right. So with that being said, I'd like to thank all of the family members for chiming in this installment of the Pelican Post Game Report, our special Saturday stream. Much love to the family. Appreciate y'all being in this thing. Almost
Y'all
2.5
give yourself
hours.
a round of applause, Big Q, DC. Y'all deserve it, brother.
Nothing without y'all, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing without y'all, bro. Nothing without y'all, bro.
Family.
So I mean,
right.
much love to you, everybody. Much love to the flock.
And
Big ups
wait,
to
hold
everybody.
up. We got to pass the collection plate around for Pastor Each One Teach One, our visiting pastor from the church
You might
of
just step on out
Pelicans.
on that one.
Of Pelicans, we will teach you how to flock, nation. Please, nothing that shines or jingles. Thank you.
Only folding. Make sure it's only of the folding variety. All right, fam. So much love. Appreciate y'all, man. I said we would have DJ to close the show out, but obviously I think DJ is sleeping. So we're gonna let DJ stay asleep in his his thing. So big ups to the rest of the fam. So with that being said, we're gonna clock out on that, fam. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back next week. More Pelican content as we get closer and closer to the start of the season, man. Listen, we looking good, doing good, and we're gonna keep on doing great content.
What, about 3 weeks away, 3-4 weeks away, huh, Q?
Yeah, it's coming. We got the Saints to kind of keep us occupied until the meantime, until it gets. So we're gonna be back. A bit of programming note tomorrow, family. We have the Tough Tiger Talk tomorrow at 11 o'clock on the
Tough Tiger Talk.
We'll have that. Well, that's right, DC. We'll have the Tough Tiger Talk stream tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll recap the game. The Tigers got the win. We'll recap that. We'll have the post-game breakdown as well as Coach O thoughts on what happened with the team. Outside of that, we'll also cover we'll have the Saints content later on in the stream as well. We'll have the Black and Gold pregame show. We'll have the virtual tailgate show prior to, and then the in-game stream for the summation of the game, followed by the post-game. So I think DC said he wants to chime in there.
Yeah,
Swade wants to chime in.
Game,
so
I might stop by the pregame too, bro. Depending on how my day going, bro. I might stop by the pregame. You're gonna need some lemons and lozenges though, because you got a long day.
No, I'll be all right, bro. I do this, bro. You know how we do.
Well, I know,
I'll do this.
So with that, man, for the job, man. Definitely. Shout out to Big Q, boy. I don't know nobody else working harder in the podcast world. I tell you, bro.
Well, I mean, that's what it takes, bro. We got, but the family members riding with me, man, and we did make it so easy, man, to have a good time. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody, man. Much love to you. Please feel free to hit the like button if you hadn't hit it. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and feel free to share the show links in your social media feed. It helps out the stream. So with that being said, right. DC, my friend, I'll see you tomorrow for the Saint content, bro. Much love to you and the flock. And, man, much love. Go Pelicans.
Flock out.
The Pelicans post-game report on the PPR Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
What's up, fam? This is Big Q from the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members. Appreciate y'all. The PRO Media Network is back at it again. Last year, we gave away several PS4s, and games. So this year, we're raffling off a PS5. To enter for your chance to win, simply click the link below and fill out all the necessary information to be eligible. Sign up for the raffle. It's $25 to enter. You gain an opportunity to win a system, the PS5 system. Like I said, it's a one remote and everything in it that goes with the full system. These things are hard to come by. It could be yours. Into the raffle today, $25 get you in. There's also a deal when you buy more than one ticket to up your chances of winning. Jump in there. It also benefits the platform as well. So feel free to sign up for the first annual PS5 raffle from the Pro Media Network. Thank you for participating and much love.